Whoa, yeah. Do I say good evening or say good morning? Bonjour or bonsoir. Once again, is my diary section on YouTube on my YouTube channel. This is my name is Ida Vimatius. You're gonna love to call me the language on first. It's my final day in Cameroon. You can see the smile on my face. I'm going back home. I'm gonna eat good food. I'm done. I'm tired of eating rice. So don't keep me rice here. I've not eaten swallow in a while since I came here. I've also not eaten proper bread. I've not had the kind of veggies that I normally like to eat, but today I had some veggies. So it's my last night in Cameroon. Tomorrow is going to be my last day in Cameroon, but it's my last night in Cameroon. And I want to start this section with my diary section with a massive thank you to everybody that have taken our time to be on my diary section every night and different time. Funny thing is, I've not been very consistent. Let's be very honest. And the reason is that I came here to work, so it means, and the work does not have time. Our work is dependent on the movement of the Super Eagles and the movement of a lot of other people. Okay, so I've not had time. Oh God, we're not talking about Iguavon right now. Guy, calm down first. We'll talk about Iguavon later. Let's take the diary section. It's my diary section, it's not your own. Just follow me the way we go so that I think goes sweet, so that I'll not get distracted. Super Eagles fanatic, thank you very much for joining. But let's see, sometimes talking football too much, they boring. Let's talk about other things, family. I'm even waiting for people to join so that I can ask you guys, how are you guys being? How's your day? How's everything going? Hope everybody is fine. See, I know that I'm known as a sports analyst, so anything that concerns me, everybody sees the sports analyst side of it. So let's talk about sports or football. But I, if you follow me very well, I consider the people that get on my YouTube or my radio as family. And families first get like interact with each other, play, joke, laugh. Then we can now begin to throw the football in here and there. And that's what I expect, especially the diary section. Um, One of the things that I wanted with the diary section is that uh, uh, we will be doing it question and answer, so you guys could raise some questions. But it doesn't just have to be questions from only football. It could be personal questions. Let's enjoy it. Let's enjoy the diary section. Diary section should not be just football. Sometimes it could be very, very boring. Football is exciting, it's good, but it's boring. If you ask footballers that play the game, they tell you that sometimes football becomes like very choking. Like when you have a girlfriend and she's always all up in your face, you start getting tired. Like she's choking you up, or your boyfriend always all up in your face every time others around you begins to choke you up. So it's like, I traveled for over 10 days now. I'm missing my family. I've always loved my family anyway. It's not like we're choking each other out. I'm missing them now, and I feel like I should go see my son, go see my daughter. I was told today that my son is not feeling fine, the last born, and all that feeling. Okay. So you've got to be able to uh you got to be able to sometimes stay away from people. It helps you to see people well or see things better. It gives you feel of them. Like when you're shooting pictures, they tell you, okay, come forward a bit, give you feel of them. It give you perspective. That's the right word to use. Okay. It gives you feel of that and perspective to be very, very excited. I've learned a lot in this period. You guys are my family, so let's really, run on that meal of being friends and being family. So let me start reading the messages on my message board. The Super Eagles fanatic says Mr. Iguavan mistake is that he started the wrong players. He was too mesmerized by the Egypt win. That's not true. He didn't make a mistake. We lost the game. So your analysis, your opinion is not true. If Iguavan did start those players that he started, and he started the players you have in mind, and the result went like this, you would have said that Iguavan was arrogant. Why did he not start the same team that beat Egypt? So we lost to Tunisia. You shows up here and you're telling me he started the wrong team. Who was in that team that started that he shouldn't have started? Tell me. I don't agree with you. You're wrong there. You're completely wrong. First off, you're not training with the players. You don't see them. You're not watching them. You're not the team psychologist, so you don't understand them. So you can't sit here and or show up here and say that. Let's sometimes also football is one of the things that everybody think they know. But go to coaching school, people will not go to coaching school. Go get a job and become a coach, you will not go. So football and journalism, especially sports journalism, is one thing that everybody thinks they know. They can tell you how to do it. I was in Cameroon. I watched the team training. I mean, because of the production that we're doing, we're the only people who had exclusive access to that team. The players that the coach started were the best players. The substitutions were also good. Tunisia won. Not every defeat requires blaming people. This team took 10 days to prepare. This is the only team that came to the Nations Cup. They didn't drop any player because the squad was not complete. This team also is missing Osimhen, missing Nadia Gallo, missing Shehu Abdullahi, not like Shehu, missing Leon Balongo in defense. Ordinarily, I mean, Omero doesn't play regularly. So for a team to play 4 games in this tournament, score 6 goals, concede 2. One is a penalty, and the other one is a snapshot that can beat any goalkeeper. I don't think that I would sit here and allow you blame the coach. It's not right. The coach does the thing that is wrong. It's okay. He did something wrong. Some of the players didn't live up to expectation. They didn't play where they got overwhelmed tactically. Tunisians were good. Let's also give people credit. Look at Man City that is beating everybody. Almost got beaten by Southampton. They drew that game. Does that mean that Pep Guardiola didn't start the right players? No, he did. Sometimes the teams are good. I play top 11. I've beaten all the strong team. Okay, you just set your team. Sometimes you play it live. Sometimes you. I was on flight. My team. I checked my team this evening, and we drew against one of the worst team in the league. But I've beaten all the top teams. All the teams that are competing with me in title. The Dinos is the same team that I've been selecting. The same selection, the same tactics, everything. Football is like that. Everything can't always go your way. Those chances that we had in other games would have converted them. We had better chance in the game against Tunisia than in the game against Egypt. But then we won against Egypt. So I don't think it is right to always blame people. We've gotten past that, to be very honest. Okay, we should. That's one of the things why I always say, and people get angry when I say, we're not a footballing nation. Nigeria is not a footballing nation. Nigerian people are not footballing nation. Nigerian people are just, let's look for something to blame somebody. That's why most time when people get excited about me or doing anything, I'm always cautious. Like, I'm one mistake away from savage. People will just start tearing you down. So you just gotta like understand that. So I don't think that if I not did anything wrong, football just happened. On the day, all of the things that could go wrong went wrong. Another day, another time, Maduka will save that ball. Another day, another time, Sadiq Umar's chances would enter. As a matter of fact, Sadiq Umar played better in the game against Tunisia than any other game that he's played. But hey, it just didn't work. We might not be happy. We have every right to be angry, and I understand that. No, I'm not against it. But let's not always resort to blame. Once something does not go well, let's not resort to blame. And let's not also be so entitled that we think that there is no team that can beat Nigeria. That's a bad approach. When I play football, it wasn't like that. That's a bad approach to look at things. It's not like Tunisia is a weak team. Look at all the teams that have played in this tournament. Name one team that have been exceptional. Some teams have been saved by referees. Some teams have just been unlucky. Some teams have, look at Comoros. 2-man down or so. They didn't have a goalkeeper. See how they played. The team that played against Senegal was the one that had 2-man down. Look at how they played. Okay, so let's not always look for blame. Let's, move forward. Plan. The World Cup qualifiers is coming in March. Let's focus on that one and leave the blame game. Okay. Emmanuel Okonta says, hello, missed your show yesterday. Sorry about that one. The Super Eagles fanatic say, Tunisia will give me depression. No, you just won't give yourself depression. There's no, Tunisia is not the one that is giving you depression. And let's be very honest, you're not a Super Eagles fanatic. A Super Eagles fanatic will follow Super Eagles everywhere they go. I don't think you do that. So let's stop all these try to draw attention to ourselves kind of talk. That's the truth. Football does not give anybody depression, so leave it. They went to Brazil's home and beat them 7-1. People don't get depression. That'll be 1-0 defeat can make you get depression. Precious are here. Precious moment. You say, okay, and now you say make we ask you a question. Well, yeah. You're free. Desmond Jude, my best analyst, not analysis. In football, whenever I see your notification, I'm happy. Looking forward to meeting you when you come to UK. Do I have a plan to come to? Okay, so the first plan right now is to go to France next month. Next month, I'm coming to France. So if you guys are in France, if there's anybody here who is in France, I'm coming to France. Okay, I've not gotten my visa anyway, my Schengen, but I'm coming to France. UK, I'm a UK boy, but I'm not really. I don't know. I don't know if I want to come to UK anytime soon. Well, I would have to. I would have to. I'll be forced to. This project might drag me to the UK, but I'm coming to France, and I might take that time to go to Sweden. Go speak to some people in my former club in Sweden, and then I might also, if I have time, it's supposed to be like a 10-day journey. I'm supposed to be in France for 10 days. I might have to go to Holland, Germany, go to Munich, and then there's a window. I go to Belgium, and then go see my sister in Switzerland or south of France, and then go see my friend, my adopted brother, yeah, Daniele Canepa, in Genoa in Italy. And then I fly back, get back to France, and then I fly back to Nigeria. That's my itinerary, but it's dependent on me getting the entry visa to France first, Schengen visa, and then I'll come. But if I don't, I'll find a way to do it. But there's something that I must go do in France, and I use the rest of the day. That's something I can do within 24 hours. But then the rest of the days, I use it to make those movements and go around. I wish I could go see the doctor that treated my leg in Russia. Well, that's going to be another day. I thought I was going to make it to the last World Cup in 2018. I would have gone to see him and really pay him a special homage. But let's put UK in view. Let's put UK in view, because if I have to go to UK, it has to be like when my children are on holidays and then we all go to UK, because I've got too much of a family in the UK to not travel alone to the UK without my kids and my wife. It would bring a lot of talk, and I don't want that to happen. So if I ever want to come to the UK, it would be with my family, and that could be like summer holiday. Yeah, that could be, but not this year, definitely, because this year I'm fully booked to the end of the year. My itinerary is like choked up. I'm really feeling for the guys on the radio, because on the radio side I might not be okay. See, tomorrow I'm going to Lagos. Tomorrow I'll fly back to Lagos in the evening. I'll stay Friday. Wait, today's Wednesday, right? Okay, so I'll stay Friday. Today's already Thursday now, not Thursday. So I'll stay Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. I might be on air, but next week I'll be going to Abuja. Spend another 4 or 5 days in Abuja, fly back, and then start processing my visa to go to France. I go to France, I spend some time, I come back again, and then I go to Ghana for the African Cup of the World Cup qualifiers. Come back from Ghana, go back to Abuja again. Okay, so I'll go to Abuja before we go to Ghana. From Abuja, we fly to Ghana. From Ghana, we bounce back to Abuja, finish the World Cup qualifiers. By God's grace, I really do hope that we'll qualify for the World Cup, because that's to make a good story. And then we start traveling Europe. But what I'm thinking, because it might affect my radio, as much as I want to travel, I mean, I love traveling. Anybody who knows me will tell you that traveling gives me orgasm. Like, I get high on traveling. As much as I want to travel, I also know that I have a radio to run and a business to manage and a family to also take care of. So I might decide, okay, you know what, let's get some other people, let's contract this thing, so some other people, let them do what we want. But you know, when you're doing, this is my first one. This is my first film. This is my first film ever, and it's big budget, okay? By my standard, $1 million is big money. Okay, as of today, we've even increased. Like, we're thinking it's going to go to up to 1.5 now. So I like to be involved in everything, like everyday activities. Let me know this is how I wanted to go, because it's me and my partner's name that is on the line, and it goes wrong. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. But it's been fun. Let's not forget, it's my diary of my time in Cameroon, and this is the final day. So, like I said before, ask any question. My experiences here, no limit. Okay, ask me question from past, present, what I plan to do in future. I'll give you guys that window, because somebody sent me a message on Instagram and said, if you don't give us a chance to ask you questions that I want to ask you, just make it look like it's only football we want to talk about. So today, no hold back. No hold back at all. Ask me any question. I give you my word. I promise you, I will answer. I mean, it doesn't matter what the question is. Just ask a question. I would ask her. I will answer. Where do we start? Continue. Emmanuel Okonta, I say, well, in that case, can you make a travel vlog of your trips as you go gather football information? That will also let your channel grow, I think. Yes, the thing about the travel vlog, okay, so one, to do a travel vlog, I need to have maybe like another photographer or cameraman that captures some of the things that I do. But this trip, why that one was not really, that's why I created a diary. Now, why that one was not really good possible, first off, I have a very terrible phone. I don't even like when I snap picture with this phone, I hate it. And when I do video with this phone too, I hate it. That's why if you notice, I don't do Instagram. But the internet in Cameroon is terrible, very, very horrible. But let's get past that. Now, another thing about that is this work that I do requires, like, I'm in the center, the middle of everything. So I cannot do a vlog on my trip. That's why I wait till I get to my room or my hotel. Like here, I'm at the Hotel La Falassier Aqua in Douala. Okay, so I can talk. I just got in because when we came to the room this evening, took my bath, went downstairs to take dinner, and then we have a very long. So there is every single day. This is how the day starts. We start a pre-production meeting to reaffirm all the line items that we've done, and then the things we're going to do, what shot we want to take. We want to take a market shot, we want to take a stadium shot, we want to take a drone shot, we want to take training shot, we want to take people driving on the street, we want to take, it's just shot. We're just taking shots. We've not even started doing interview. Just taking shots in different places like that, location and all that going. And then we also spend a lot of time with the players, like talking to them. This is what we want to do. We're not journalists, we're not here. We want to do this. We'll come to your club, we'll go to your family, we'll interview your parents. Everything needs to be on it. What you don't want, tell us now. If you don't want your mother, your father, your uncle, your auntie, your brothers to be in the film, tell us now. Because once we capture it and we move to post-production, you can't stop anything. So we needed to know that, and we needed to make them understand that this is a film that's going on Netflix and Amazon, and it's going to be the first of its kind in Africa for national team, because I know that Al Ali is also trying to do something similar, okay, for Al Ali. I don't know who will come at first, maybe us or them, I don't know. So we try to do all that. It's a lot more expensive because now we don't have to travel to meet them in their different countries where they are playing. But hey, what is worth doing is worth doing well. If you are a Nigerian, you do not have the luxury. Okay, I know that people in Hollywood have the luxury to make mistakes, but if you're a Nigerian and you're coming from the sports world where we don't do film and want to do the first sports film, you don't have the luxury to make mistakes. Even this film, I've told everybody, I said, no matter how good and how perfect it is, because Edafe is involved, there's still going to be plenty of criticism. You know why? Because I always criticize. So there's going to be plenty of criticism. I'm only feeling for the other guys that are part of the work because I might be the Jonah in the camp, but they can't throw me into the water. Okay. There is no whale to swallow me, but they can't throw me into the water. But we will get sailing, we'll get going. So you guys be patient. I know that it's going to come out in September anyway, but you guys should just be patient. It's a very long road anyway, so let's keep it going, small. Okay. The channel will definitely grow, Emmanuel. Thank you for your love and your concern. Emmanuel Okonta say the above comment is based on you saying that we need to talk about other things other than football. Yeah, thank you very much. I know why that is. I know why that is. Okay, I understand. Desmond Jude, you say Mr. Guavon did his best against Tunisia. It was not just our day. Let's move on and prepare for the World Cup ticket. That's what I believe too. We should focus on that. Yes, streamer. Who the hell is this person again? Why can't YouTube even stop this kind of people that are coming into people's life? Well, it's a free world, freedom of speech is allowed. Olarewaju Sahid, he said, good morning, Edafi. Good morning to you. Thanks for the good work you are doing. Do you have young sports journalists you are mentoring? Yes. I was amazed to see that in Cameroon here, there are 17 people that I've mentored that came to this African Cup of Nations, Emmanuel team, Emmanuel Sebastian, Sexy Joe, a host of others. And I just feel like, man, I'm a legend now. Like, I'm a veteran in the industry now. So yes, I do have a lot of young journalists that I mentor, and I'm still open to mentoring. But first off, one of the golden rules is I'm a respecter for time. I can't mentor people who don't value time. Media is about timing. I can't mentor anybody who doesn't value time. That's one. Two, if it is mentorship that you have to come to my studio, body odor, mat odor, poor dressing, poor hygiene habits, don't even bother because I'll chase you, I'll drive you. So there's no need so that you don't go on social media and be dragging me and say that it's very mean, it's very wicked. No, I just tell people up front, these are the things that I cannot take and it can't happen. Larry, I just said, okay, that's what I've read down. That's what you say. What do you think of all African countries opening their borders for free movement? Do you think that would unify Africa as a continent? Free movement is good for people like me. I would enjoy it. Like, I mean, just travel. Like, I came to Cameroon. I didn't need to look for visa and the rest. I know I can stamp you on arrival and you go. You can move around. But if you do that, some lazy, reckless countries whose leaders are irresponsible would create a channel where countries like Nigeria that have 200 million people, like 50 million of Nigerians will move to countries like Libya or Ghana or Egypt, Morocco, and go and take over their countries. So those restrictions, that requirements, are restrictions to help keep control in countries. I think it is not going to be uh, right. It's not going to be good for countries to do that. What I do think that Africans should do is to fight for a unified currency. A unified currency, and then back it up with the diamonds and gold and oil that we have here. That way, we will no longer need to depend on the control of the Western world, to run our economy. And I mean, this thing, just saying this word on YouTube can put a sniper bullet on my head. That's why Gaddafi was killed. Gaddafi was not a bad person. Gaddafi wanted an Africa that have its own money that is backed by African gold and diamond, because that means that Westerners can no longer come here and come and exploit us and take our resources anymore. We will not own our resources. All of the technology that they use in cutting our diamonds, will have it here, build it here. A unified currency will be nice. Okay, I think I prefer economic growth than free border. I'm not really a believer or a supporter of free border, because that thing of free border, uh, from my view, I'm not the best economist or the best political scientist. I can't claim to be that. I really don't know much. But from my layman's position, free border is like free border across the 54 countries of Africa is like there is a guy in your community who cooks food on a big pot, canopy in front of his house, and anybody can come there and eat. The problem is all these people that are coming there to eat will become lazy. They will no longer learn how to walk, because you can eat 3 square meal every day from Baba Olowo. Now, where the effect will come is when Baba Olowo now dies and there's not to provide the food. All of these lazy people that have spent their useful years depending on Baba Olowo's free 3 square meal will become nuisance and terrorists and problem to communities that they live in and even communities beyond. So I do not support free border in that sense, but I support a unified currency. I support an African economy that is powered by African resources. Okay, so that at the end of the day, take for instance, America's dollar is secured against the gold reserve. Now, not because I saw it on Netflix, but the thing about the gold reserve is, and then it's also American dollar is also secured against war. So when you say America go to war, that is how their dollar gets powerful. Okay. So we don't want to. I think that we should look at building an Africa. Take for instance, coming to Cameroon, give me a great. So I've been to Cameroon before twice, but it was a pop in and pop out. I've not come in and understood the people, the divide between the Anglophone Cameroon and the Francophone Cameroon. I've not come to understand that francophone countries in Africa are still under colonial master, like they are still slaves. That's the practical term for it. I mean, I hope they don't shut down my channel anyway. But that's the practical term to describe what the francophone countries in Africa are going through. Francophone countries in Africa have their central bank in France, have their control in France. The economy is regulated in France. Who vote and who doesn't vote, what you do. Okay, say for instance, I have this YouTube channel. My YouTube channel is registered as a Nigerian YouTube channel. Every money I make, when it is time for me to make money and withdraw my money, it comes to Nigeria. In Cameroon, if you run a YouTube channel, your money first go to France. France take their deduction. And this is after YouTube and America have collected all their deduction. Okay, so the other day, somebody asked me this super chat that people are giving me $20, $10. Does all the money come to me? No. YouTube will take their charges. American government will take their taxes because YouTube is it's an American company. Now then, the rest will be paid into my AdSense account. So let's say, for instance, you give me $20 or $30, all doesn't come to me. But that's fine. That's good. That's a business model, and I respect it. But in this case, that's in Cameroon, Benin Republic, Togo, all those francophone countries. The money that still comes to you first have to hit France, and then France have to decide what you get. So you can make 10 million views, and you're thinking, and I make 10 million views, I'll make money than you make. This is crazy. And countries that have been free are still paying tax to the French government. That's their headache anyway. They've not decided that they want to be free, so they choose to be in that slavery. But then I love this trip because it gave me that education. I used to think that Boko Haram is only in Nigeria. I didn't know that they also have Boko Haram in France, and I mean in Cameroon, sorry, and all of that. So it strengthened and exposed, broadened my horizon and my education of my African landscape. And also, I discovered that Cameroon actually, landscape-wise, is actually bigger than Nigeria. Okay, and also and so forth. But we have human being, citizen people more than Cameroon. It's a whole lot, and their food. Okay, but it's one of those things. What's the next person? Alari Waju Sahid, they say, good morning, Idafe. Thanks for the good work you're doing. Do you have young? Yeah, I have. Desmond, he said, what do you think? I think that I've read already. Alari Waju Sahid, what are your life philosophies? Okay, my life philosophies is one. Let me state this one up front. I don't know how to forgive people. Forgiveness is not my thing. It's God's thing. It's God's responsibility. I think that forgiveness is one of the things that make people weak. Okay, so I don't know how to forgive. So if you hang around me, you be in my space, learn not to do the things that are not right. So my life philosophy is you will get what you give. You will get what you give. And what you consume, and this is not food alone, but what you consume determines you at the end of the day. So for instance, if I'm hanging out with you and you play certain kind of music a lot, and I know that the music is not good for me, you might be a good person, but I'll cut away from you. If I'm hanging out with you and you like to, I hate gossip a lot. You like to gossip about people, tell me about what people are saying. I already know that when you leave me, if you go to somewhere else, you talk about me to people, I'll cut you off. Maybe I didn't know this when I was younger, but now that I'm 44, going to be 45 at the end of this year, one of the things that I've changed in my life philosophy is that chase network before you chase money. Chase network before you chase money. In other words, get to know people. Understand the value of service more than you understand the value of money. Respect yourself a lot. Respect others. You think about respect, if you meet anybody who doesn't have self-respect, do not expect them to have respect for you, because gold is sold to those who know the value, right? I also do not believe in religion the way we practice it. I grew up in church, so don't tell me that I'm an antichrist. I'm not an antichrist. I believe in God. I believe in Christ. I believe in the words of the Bible, not everything in it. I believe anyway. Some things I just feel like they were fallacies. But I do not believe in religion or Christianity or Islam or Buddhism or Judaism or whatever, Ifaism or whatever they do, the way we practice it. I think that it is adulterated, it is mixed up with some personal agenda. That's why you can look across 10 churches that are calling the same God, calling the same Jesus, reading the same Bible, but what their beliefs is different. At what point did the belief change? Who decide that they believe this one should be fighting enemies from the village every day, should be shouting fire, 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 fire. The other one should be pouring holy water on people. The other one should be, it doesn't make sense to me. So that's me. So my life philosophy is do to people what you expect them to do for you. But then I have a twist to that. So I trust very easily. I think my strongest, my assets, my greatest asset in life is that I trust people very fast. You know why? Because I know that when I want to cut you off, there's no emotion to it. I don't get all those, like in taking decisions, I don't struggle with emotion. Like, what would they feel? What would people say? I don't have that. I wasn't raised like that. I don't have that kind of emotion on me. So my body does not react like that. Like, hey, people will not say, hey, after these things, yeah, people were not there when I'm living my life. People were not there when I'm going through whatever I go through. So I don't care what people say. So, but I would always do to you what I expect you to do to me. I would always give you the benefit of the doubt. I will always try my best not to step on your toe, but please don't step on my toe because if you do, I might stab you with a knife. It's as simple as that. I say it up front to a lot of people around me. I don't know how to forgive. Forgiveness is not, it doesn't exist in my space, right? If you step out of line, you're gone. You can go, I mean, if you follow me on social media, you know that I block people a lot. If you step out of line, you're gone. You can go judge to anybody who you like. I've also lived a life to the point where depending on people is the highway to heartbreak. So I do not depend on people. I hope I've answered your question, Larry Waju Said. Desmond Judy say thank you for your answer. What the hell is this spammer? Thank you for your answer. You are an honest person and think every situation logically. You are Iman. Thank you very much. Emmanuel Okota, I said we can share the same currency, but if it is difficult for travel between the countries, we can never really grow African economy collectively. Yeah, but if we share the same country, listen, if we share the same currency and the values are equal across, like you have the euros, don't forget that every country have their money in Europe. Okay, Germans have their money, Italians have the lira, French have the francs, everybody have their money, but one currency across now. Development will come if I know that, okay, if I send my people to your country to go and work or school, they will bring back value here. I will see if there is no exchange. You know, one of the things that make marriages crash a lot these days is only one person hold the yam and the knife. So, like when I talk to ladies around me on my ladies, I always tell them, what value are you bringing to the table when you go into this relationship with this person? So it's the same thing with countries. Egypt wants to know what Nigeria will be offering them. Okay? They want to know that. Even though we are like children of the same father but different mothers. So if you look at the Arab countries, they are united in their small pocket space. West African countries are the blacks of Africa are the most confused one. West Africans, East Africans, Central Africans, North Africa, South Africans. The South Africans are also pocketed in one area, the Angola, Zambia, Zimbabwe, Mozambique, and South Africa, all those people are pocketed in one side. The North Africans of Libya, Egypt, Morocco, Tunisia, Algeria are in one pocket. Africans, West Africans, we're always fighting ourselves. Okay, Shatawali will tell you that, what's it called? Whiskey or Jazzy or Burna Boy or Davido or Tiwa Savage are not good enough to one leg of one rapper that would, one musician in Ghana that would not know. So we're always fighting ourselves. Sometimes competition is good to Russia. But because we've not evenly advanced ourselves, if they open border equally, I think it will be disadvantaged because let's be very honest here. Language is a product of interest. So if language is going to be the barrier, anybody will go learn the language. Would you rather live in Nigeria than live in Egypt? It's a very simple question. So if the balance of people, Egyptians don't want to come to Nigeria, go hustle, take their women, take their girls, and it cause problem. And then if you open the border freely, currently they're still sneaking in and doing all the things that people do. You now open the border freely, everybody comes in and mess this up. But if we have equal money, we're supported, the continent gets inflow of cash on an even balance. I mean, the economic understanding of this is still complex anyway. But I think that that would work well for us, and the values of what we pursue will not be that we are an equilibrium in that. But then beyond that, people like Ghana, Nigeria, people like Nigeria, Togo, Benin Republic, there will not be some evil balance, because what you first do is to even to do that, you allow the West Coast countries to align themselves. So there'll be no visas around that place, but no border closure. But there's no visa between Nigeria and Cotonou, for instance, but there's border close. Okay, so I bring their goods freely here. We also can't send our goods to them. So there is an imbalance in trade. This is just two countries that are very close with the share border, where it's like Mexico and America, right? We take their people, they take our people, but we don't take each other's goods. Does it make sense? So if I know that if I go and sell this Sondolise book in Ghana, Cotonou, anywhere, it's the same price that I will sell it here. I will no longer be looking to travel by road and doing all that. Rather, I'll create an online portal where you can buy the book and will deliver to you, like Amazon. Okay, and that makes it easy. But you see people still carrying goods and services, traveling down the road, stressing themselves to go sell in Ghana because the Ghana money now is not better than the Nigerian money. So all of those things needs to change. Those are some of the things that I'm looking at. Larry Waju said, he said, please, I have a brother who had 2-1 in mechanical engineering with a strong passion for football analysis and sports journalism. Please, can you help me mentor, mentor, sir? Thanks. Okay, you don't need to tell me thanks when I never even answer the question. First, I want to ask you this question. Where does this stay? Where's his location? And why would somebody, okay, I read in mechanical engineering as well, but why is he not trying to work with mechanical engineering certificate? You got a 2-1 and all that. But where does it stay? That's the first place. And I know that people will tell you, hey, you can mentor me via phone. No. I mentor people that I can see. Because in mentorship, you have to deal with the attitude, the character of the person. You're not just dealing with the knowledge. I don't think that I want to impart knowledge on anybody. Knowledge is easy to get. Okay. Just a little focus, you get it. What you really want to fix in people that you're mentoring, because mentorship means you are saying what God said in the Bible about Jesus. This is my beloved son, in whom I please. In other words, do business with him. I'm happy that a few people are saying this one, that one, they're doing their thing, and I'm like, okay, yes, I mentored that person. I'm proud of the person. They're not messing up. They're not, constituting nuisance all over the places. They're not being problem. Everywhere they've gone to work, they become access to their bosses and all that, and I feel glad about it. But first off, you want to deal with the character. When I was mentoring in May in 2017, there were 2 other guys, Kamal and one other guy, Sheglo. From the very first few days, I knew that Sheglo not this serious. This is not what is called for. It might succeed in any other thing, but journalism, it will not succeed because of his attitude, his disrespect for time, his disregard for time, and all that. So, if I want to mentor anybody, one, I want the person to be around. I'll tell you, okay, come around 3 times a week. Unfortunately, this year, my time is very scarce. Excuse me. So the reason why my time is scarce is I'm shooting a film, a documentary. So it's not just a film. A film is what you write a script and say, come and put people in camp and then shoot a movie 2-3 weeks. Everybody go, you go and edit. No, I'm shooting a documentary series. It's a real life documentary series of the survival. So nothing is scripted, nothing is react. You get into their daily lives, their games, their match time, and you're just capturing that. And you could capture, say, 40 hours. Only 30 minutes will make sense. And so that's what we were faced with. Okay. But that one. Secondly, there's a lot of traveling, there's a lot of training. I think I need to do some more training so that I'll be able to train the people that I work with as well. Then I have my podcast. Okay, so the month of February, you'll see the podcast come out, and we've shot only 5 episodes, meaning that there's a lot. We want to shoot 18 episodes every season. So we shot only 5, so there are 13 more episodes to be shot. So we need to go over to do that one. Then there's Film Room, that is executive produced by us and everything. We've done the Eguavon one, you guys have seen it. But we want to do Finidi George, we want to do Emmanuel Munike, we want to do Kennedy Mboye, we want to do Imam Mabakabo, Eddie Dobraye, who want to go do Pizza Masamane, want to do a coach in Ghana. Anybody who have contact with the top coach in Ghana should let us know. Want to do coaches in South Africa, want to do coaches in Cameroon, want to like really do film house on that level to tell African stories, to let the world know that look, Africans are as good. One, we're producing to the topest standard so that when people watch it, say, okay, this is as good as anything I would watch from Europe or America. That's one. Two, we also want to tell this people's story from not just the criticism that we have on radio and TV today, but from exposing them to you. Some of these players, take for instance, are you aware that for like 2 years, Moses Simon was playing with painkiller? Those are the kind of things that end people's career, but it was just playing with painkillers. So all of those stories we need to know. You know where the story of how Alex Iwobi's father went to school in London and he started playing football, and his father is a chief judge. And then one day he opened a newspaper and he saw his son's name did well in the match, and he wrote about him. And the father called him, "Oh, so I sent him to school and play ball," and he dragged him back to Nigeria. And then when he went back to school again, he made friends with Chejo Okocha's elder brother, Ima Okocha, the real JJ. And then want to lead to the other. Um, Alex Iwobi's father, I met Coach's elder sister, which is Alex Iwobi's mother. These stories. So we want to be able to react and get all those back end story. It takes quality production, quality equipment, and a whole lot of traveling. That's one part. Then there's the podcast, then there's film room. After that, the movie comes out in December. I'll start packing my bags again, start looking for money because I need to go to the World Cup. I cannot come to Cameroon and not go to Qatar. It doesn't make sense, right? So right now, as I'm sitting here, I'm already having that in mind. I'm going to go to Qatar. I might not go because of football this time. This traveling, this diaries, things that I do. Now my mind is like, okay, you know what? You could do something. You could do sites. I've never done that before, but it's something that I've always said to myself that eventually one day I will do a tourism show, and that's not in my head. So I've already spoken with my partner and another producer who have to go to Qatar, spend the whole World Cup, and I will go to Airbnb and traveling around different cities in Qatar and be telling you stories of people how to get married, how to do that, their food and their culture and their way of life. That video blogging that somebody was asking me about, then I can do that at that time. So those are some of the things that are on ground for me. Emmanuel said religion is greater fraud in the world. Religion is the biggest downfall of Nigeria. We would be a better country without religion. I agree with you 100%. I think that 99.9% of all Nigerian pastors are scam artists. I think that they are 419s and then they lie. Some people would use drug money, fraud money to be rich, and then start telling you about what God can do and what God cannot do. Does exist and what they do, and the population that comes to them. That's it. The thing about religion is, I always say to my wife, it's a game of choice. You make a choice, you live by the consequences of your choices. That's the way life is. I don't think that anybody can bamboozle me with religion anymore. So I'm in my space. Emmanuel Kota, I want to say I have reported love face, okay, XYZ to the YouTube to block. Thank you very much for doing that for me. Olariwaju Said, he said he resides in Abuja. He has he's gone to serve several job interviews with little success. I'm in Lagos. I don't live in Abuja, but I'm going to be in Abuja next week anyway. I'm in Lagos. I don't know, my schedule is, my Abuja schedule is very tight. So it's 4 to 5 days, meetings and, meetings and meetings and meetings. So I really can't schedule a time to meet with him. But if I can, I mean, if I travel to, I'll still be doing my diary. Somebody said that this diary should not stop even if I get back to Nigeria. I don't know how I'll continue it anyway, but there's a live show for morning and for evening. So we'll be able to see how that one goes. But I don't know if I can still continue to do my diary because at home, for instance, my kids might be there. The whole lot. It's a different attraction. I'm in this hotel room. I finish now. I jump into the bed. I sleep. Wake up tomorrow morning, and then start preparing for my flight. That is in the evening. I go back to Lagos in the night. Okay, it's a different thing compared to when you're home. But we'll see how it goes. Okay. Emmanuel Conte said the conversation rate needs to be standard and our tariff fees has to be equal access, okay, equal across board to discourage dumping of goods that are not from the region or continent. I agree with you on that one. Through one country, I agree with you 100% on that one. That's what Judy said. Do you like politics? Yes, I do, but I don't think I am a politician. Like I can get into politics. So I have friends that are politicians, very good ones. I also have friends that are bad politicians. Yes, you can. Everybody can be good in your circle, but they're my friends. Okay, so let me talk about a good one. Aki Alabi is a good politician. He understands politics. I mean, it's something he grew up with. His father was a politician, so he understands it, and he's a very good politician. I can always say that any day because there is evidence to that. I don't need to lie for him. I don't need to deceive people. Aki Alabi is a good politician. Now, one of the things that I know about politics, the little that I know, is that politics and truth don't move together. Okay, politics and activism does not move together. I am more aligned towards being an activist than being a politician, and I don't deceive myself. One of the things that I don't do is I don't know how to lie to people, so why should I lie to myself? So yes, I like politics. Okay, if you were to be given power to make Nigeria a better country, what will you do? What will you do have to bring on the table? So I'm not a politician, but I'm a scientist. And I always say that from studying engineering, catalyst for a country's economic growth is electricity and education. Goes back to T. Jake's words in the book Reposition Yourself, where he says, if people know better, they will do better. So let me bring some analogy. I think that if I have power, I will never be the president of Nigeria. See, people say never, but there are some things that will never happen. I will never be the president of Nigeria. But I'm a behind the scene person. My greatest strength is working behind the scene. I'm not a front office guy. I'm not a seminar. I'm this guy. No, I'm not that guy. Okay. Broadcasting put me in front, but my real strength is helping people behind the scene. Okay. So I have this thing in me that makes me see things before they happen, like, so not prophet or vision kind of thing, no, not seer, but like we could sit here and while we're gisting and talking, I'm running my head around, like maybe it came from football anyway, from my football side, and I'm already saying that if we stay here 2 hours more, this thing will collapse or that thing will happen, this one will happen. So I have intuition, a very good intuition. So I can walk behind the scene and make a complex situation look easy. So if we have a political system that allows for subordinates to talk to their bosses in truth and honesty, that's a system I would love to work with. But the way our political system is designed in such a way that you have to say rank and then you have to say yes sir, yes sir, yes sir, yes sir, yes sir, yes sir. You have to do eye service. And it's not just in politics. It's in our workplace. I worked in a place where the people who get the most love from the boss are people who do eye service. The people who get promoted are people who do eye service. Anybody who doesn't do eye service is not a company man. I don't do that. Not talk about in politics. I also will not be able to do politics because when someone like me goes into politics, I'll easily be killed because I'm going to question stealing and I'm going to come out in public to shout about it. I'm going to question a lot of things that people do in government. I'm going to be a nightmare to people, and politicians are brutal people. They are no nonsense people. They take you out. So I don't think it's something I want to do. But I love what I'm doing right now. I'm making impact. I'm effecting changes without even being involved. I think that I've done a whole lot in Nigerian football since 2015 up until now. But you see, when you walk behind the scene, you must also accept that you cannot claim glory for the things that you've done. So let's not push it. I can't be a politician. But if I was ever a politician, a president, I'll fix electricity, I'll make sure the schools are good, and then I'll fight with all I've got for the healthcare center. Now, this is it. Electricity would grow your economy. Imagine, so I spend 10,000 naira every day, every single day, 10,000 naira, calculated for a year. That's what I've been spending in the last 3 years, 10,000 naira per day for fuel. Some people do it in diesel, spend more every day, right? If I wasn't buying fuel, I'll be able to save part of that money. I'll be able to pay my workers more money. I'll be able to do a lot more things. But I'm buying fuel every day. And it's a baby company that just started. Okay. So how do you make money, save the money, and grow your business? That's one. So I would make sure that the same way they ban importation of rice, I was expecting the government to ban importation of generator. And then say, but it's going to be an indictment on them because when you ban a generator and then there's no light, people will say, okay, you ban generator and you can't give us light, so that's going to be a problem. So that's one of the things to look at. I'll fix it. Education. The reason why education is good is education is not what you do for the country today. Education is building and sustaining the future of your country. I would also fix healthcare. The thing about healthcare is the heartbeat of any nation. If a country's healthcare is not good, Canada have one of the best health system in the world. You see how solid the country is. England also have one of the best healthcare facility in the world. You see how solid they are. Italy have a shambolic healthcare facility. Euro is what is strengthening them. If not, Italy would have been in crisis. And you could measure that with almost every other country. America also have a very terrible healthcare system. Sorry, and you can see that reflecting on its people as well. So there is a back and front of it, but those are the three things that I will focus on. I want an educated nation because an educated nation is a sustainable nation. Ignorance is a very big problem within this country. See people fighting at the border, road transport workers. That's ignorant. There's so much ignorance. Ignorance drives greed. Okay, so if you're a young man that is not married, go and experiment this thing. Date an educated girl, and also after all, no, start with dating an illiterate girl. After all, date an educated girl. Now, this experiment does not naturally mean 100% fair because some educated girls are stupid, and then some illiterate girls are very brilliant. My mom was an illiterate, but she talked beautiful things and she raised this man. But what I'm saying is, or go to a circle of your friends that are not educated, like not really educated, not like highly educated, and then have a conversation, intelligent conversation. Try to raise an intelligent conversation and watch how they dismiss the conversation because they don't have any real substance to contribute. As against when you go to your educated friends and you raise a conversation and you see how they are putting they're dotting the I's and crossing the T's and making everything look good. Okay, that's the thing. Education makes a nation responsible. I'm talking of quality education now. Makes a nation responsible. Gives a sense of pride to the citizens of the country. Let me give you a very good example. Now, Americans, if you go to Harvard, you come and there's a sense of pride, there's a sense of can do because you feel like I've gone to a school that defines the world, a school that produce more presidents, a school that have XYZ, that is this, that is that. So when you're speaking from a position of confidence because you're not only taught academic education, you're taught social and human, everything within that space that you find yourself. We don't have that type. And that also is a problem because if we have solid and top quality educational system in Nigeria, we also end foreign exchange because people from abroad will be sending their children to come school here. And that electricity cannot be overemphasized. You have to fix electricity, whether you like it or not. Then you now go to other things like fixing road, making sure there's job provision. But I'm not a politician. So no matter what I say here, this is just me talking crap. At the end of the day, the people who are politicians and they will do well. Okay. Uh Desmond, no. Daniel, he said, do you think the Super Eagles should work also on playing through the middle a 4-2-3-1 formation for club that love to sit back? Now, we're not playing against club, we're playing against countries. So one thing you should know is formation is just like the name that you give your child. If you give your child clever, it does not mean that the child will be brilliant. If you give your child happy, it does not mean that the child will be happy all the time. If you give your child joy, it doesn't mean that your daughter will be joyous all the time. The same way, if you give your child wealth, it doesn't mean that that child will end up rich. Okay, so that's what formation is. Adaptation of your players on the field of play is what really matters. Do we have those type of quality players as a unit, or we just have sparring moments of brilliance in different time zone of a game? The answer is the latter. So even if you play them in the 4-3-3, 4-5-1, whatever you play them, that adaptation and that as a unit to be able to play and lift their game is a lot more important than, oh, what formation. I've heard people say, oh, the formation that the coach played is the reason why we lost to Tunisia. I just laugh. Because when I'm sitting, I'm looking at this conversation, I'm like, okay, Nigerians don't know anything. A coach will not be the one that will make Moses realize that three people or two people are bombarding me. Now I need to do something different. Okay. I need to stop giving them this impression that I want to run. I need to get the ball, give it back to Zaidus Sanusi. Every time, give it back to Zaidus Sanusi. They will feel like, oh, they have won. And then when they least expected, you hit them on that run. You can speak your Hausa to Zaidus Sanusi and he will understand you better. But hey, we're not that kind of people. And then there's a whole lot that happened. But people say, look at that game in the second half. The team moved from 4-4-2 to 3-5-2. We still couldn't win, and then we got a red card, and then it's difficult. It's just one day that went bad. There's nothing wrong with the formation. Formation is just name tag that is given to a squad. What really need is the players playing as a unit, and then those ones who have exceptional individual talent standing out and be counted with their talent on match days. That's it. Emmanuel Conte, I say, I beg, if you can continue, if you can continue, children can add soundtrack to the show. If you can continue, children can answer, okay, I understand what you mean when I get back to Nigeria. Olarawaji Said, they say, thanks at Oga for your prompt and intelligent response. Now, can the young man reach you? Let's reach him. Okay, yeah. Let him try and reach me. Let's have a conversation around it. Let's see. If I say one thing that would change Nigeria for the best is a true constitution. Our current constitution is set up without national uh, with cut national cake give me rather than how can I grow the national cake. So listen, that thing you said is a lie. I have the 1999 constitution. Most people who don't even have it and have not read the constitution, when they want to lie to themselves, they say these things. You've not read the constitution. You don't need to change the constitution. As a matter of fact, Nigeria's problem is not the constitution. The cut cake give me, is a mentality that we have. So something needs to change in Nigeria's mentality. So in the last 10 years, I've had cause to do jobs with agencies and companies and different organizations. So everywhere you go to do, and that's the reason why when people call me and say, oh, I'm from this so and so agency, when I'm in Cameroon here, somebody offered me $3,000 to file in reports. I told him I'm not doing. I don't work for agencies. I'm not rich, but I'm not stupid. Two different things. I can't be stupid. I've done a job before 1.9 million naira. I didn't get. I've done a job before 11 million naira. I didn't get. What's the reason? Once they give you a job, everybody in the office, as soon as you start coming to look for your check, everybody, and I mean everybody in the office wants you to give them kickback. Why should I give you kickback? And it's blackmailing. Okay, so the few people you're talking to, all of a sudden, the first check, the first moment you submit your invoice, every time they call you, tell you, my pikin no well, my husband get kidney, this one get that one, that one. They emotionally blackmail you, forgetting that you have your own need, you have your own problem, you have things to solve. So you get into that mood where if you don't do it, it means you're wicked. After we've given you money. No, you're working, they're paying you salary, right? I'm not supposed to give you money by force. I'm supposed to give you money if I feel like you fast track my job, you make my job easy for me, and I say thank you. My size. I've given somebody 100,000 naira before, and she said, "Come on, 100,000 now you give me for 3.7 million I will give to you." Now the problem is I did this job to the tune of 3.1 million. So yeah, I am going back home with 600,000 naira. Out of 600,000, I gave you 100,000 naira. I have a wife and two kids at the time. I need to pay school fees, I need to pay house rent, I need to take care of a lot of things. For a 3.7 million naira job, I got only 500,000 naira. I gave you 100,000 naira aside of your salary, aside of other people that give you money, and you said, after all this money, what I get, now only this one I forgive you, right? And that has happened a lot of times. It's nothing to do with the constitution. There's nothing in the constitution that says that. It is people. So this project that we're doing, can I say this now? No, I can't. So let me keep this one out. But excuse me. And people would work in the office or go to the office in the morning. Instead of, like, I experienced it in my own office, I experienced it where I used to work. To take the office internet, they use it to download every film. They know all the sites to download movie, forgetting that when you downloaded that movie, you're drawing down on the data of the office. So the data, the internet that is supposed to last for a month will last 2 weeks. I have to take my money to go and buy another internet. Money that's supposed to be money that will add to your salary or give you bonus. I'm using it to take care of internet. Tomorrow you say I don't pay well. Those things are not in the constitution. Those things are the human behavior. What needs to change is Nigerians, not the constitution. Write the best constitution in this country as long as we have this mentality. Second, another thing, thirdly, once your person gets appointed, so let me carve out my own personal experience to answer this question. Once your person gets an appointment, the first thing we say is, we will wash our now our town be this, our town don't reach. It's got nothing to do with constitution. You are peer pressuring somebody to steal money so that he can wash, it can be, we can do our turn. That's our problem. Then, when we're looking for job, and I'm going to come back to this, when we're looking for job, we are consistent, we're humble, we're respectful, we're hardworking. We get a job after 3 months, we start having attitude. All the demonic attitude that we used to have, they come. I work in a creative space, right? So you buy a Mac for 1 million or 1.2 million. You employ somebody, your job is to do graphic design with a Mac. Do graphic design. Every time you come in, the person is playing music with the internet, he forgets to do the job. And then the person that, because you have office, the office that provide AC, seats, internet, computer, light, electricity for this person. The person all of a sudden start going out to go get their own job to do is on your computer. That's not the constitution. That's who we are. You buy equipment, say camera. You keep you say, okay, use this camera to do this work for our work. The person takes the camera outside to do their own personal work. They're still waiting for you to pay them. Jobs are supposed to come to the company. They take it, do it, and every time you come around, I've seen people work with me during the day. They say they're having back pain or they are doing this one. They want to sleep, and I'm like, how the hell does somebody, a grown-ass man who should be ambitious, who should have a dream, want to sleep in the daytime? What do you do in the night? Right? That's not the constitution. That's our human behavior. I've seen adults, grown adults, that you expect, okay, do basic things. These things are supposed to help you, like write a report. We have a meeting, write the minutes of the meeting. Do this one. They won't do. Young millennials these days, okay, you're trying to like groom people. That's why I'm even bothered about mentoring people these days. You're trying to groom them, teach them something. They spend the whole day, instead of asking questions, they spend the whole day arguing with you. If you know that much, why are you coming to me to mentor you? That's got nothing to do with the constitution. It is our behavior. Before I got here, I'll tell this to people all the time. When I wanted to go into media, I always tell my friend that I'm not a journalist. I've not trained this thing before. So I'm going to sacrifice my time. When I came into Brilla, I realized that in that organization, they don't train you. Right? Now, it's not bad because it works for them. Nobody will call you and say, okay, this is console. This is how you do it. This is how the microphone. This is like in my company. Like you come in, I'll come tell you what side of the microphone. So you're the directional microphone. What side of the microphone you need to talk on, how your voice will come out. I make people feel happy. You give a good answer, I come with a bottle of wine, I give you as an appreciation. I never experienced that. After 2 or 3 weeks of being on radio, I was already the best. Nobody ever come and say, nice one. Rather, I was working with people who want to see me fail. I mean, that's not the constitution. That's our character. People were taking our bets that it would not last. But then I did 13 years and 3 days, right? When I started this work, when I started, okay, I want to do my online TV and online radio, I know friends and people who said it not go last, it not go fit sustainable. Make it go sit down. He want road shoulder. He want to roll with the big boys. That was in 2017, November. I remember I took my team, flew them on plane, and people who are veteran in industry come, if you come. If you continue like this, it not go last though. You for fly the plane, then let your crew, when they enter road from Lagos, enter 9 bus, come Kano. That's not the constitution. That's who we are. I've worked with people who company will approve money. If you see Murphy, ask him the same question. Or you see Overdose, ask him the same question. Company will approve money and say, give this money as a unit head, give this money to your reporter. The person confidently shop the money, nothing happen. Then the person will be bragging and be telling you that this company, let me tell you, if there is a problem between somebody in management position and the regular staff, company will always take side with managers. Nothing happens. That's not the constitution. That's who we are. So there is nothing wrong with the Nigerian constitution. There are few clauses and paragraphs that should be changed. Few subheadings, titles that should be changed and amended. Countries don't just change, wipe away constitution. They amend constitutions as they go. The American Constitution is one of the worst document ever put together. Do you know that the American Constitution do not in any way put into consideration black people in America? So by American Constitution, if white person kill a black person, he's not done anything. As a black person, by American Constitution, you are trespassing in the country. Right? But that does not mean that the common sense of people in the country is not working. Common sense. We're not suffering from constitutional issue. We're suffering from common sense problem. Lack of empathy, lack of love for your nation, leading to lack of love for yourself. And then because anybody who does not love themselves will start to hate other people. If not, do you think it's constitution that makes Bola Tinubu to acquire the whole of, like it owns the whole of Lagos? Lagos is his real estate. You think that's constitution? It's not constitution. It's just human greed. You think it's constitution that says that soldiers should go and shoot people? It's just a constitution. On my time, on my life, it's come to 1 hour. I promise 1 hour before I go and sleep. Desmond Judy said, do you think Nigeria can ever pay back what they have borrowed from? Yes, that's easy. I feel like 30 years from now, China will own Nigeria 100%. Please name one country that people borrow from and another person own them 100%. More calm down. Nobody does that. America is owing China more than what we're owing them. Nobody's crying in America that in the next 100 years somebody will owe them. If they want to come, if China, by the way, is safe, let's even face it. If China wants to come and own Nigeria, is it not even better? If China wants to come and own Nigeria now, is it not better? This China that we're borrowing money from, that everybody is complaining. If it was America that were owing that money, would you people not be happy for America to come and take over Nigeria? So let's leave this old talk of, and it's press again. It's the media that's feeding you people these things. Check your budget. Is Nigeria paying servicing its debt? Yes, we are. So what's the big deal? Countries run on other people's money. That's the way the world works. It's not rocket science. So what if China owns this country? It's a collective. But from the look of things, we're paying. So I don't have a problem. Would you rather we sit here, there's no money to fund the budget, and everybody start falling down one after the other and die, than let's go and borrow money, let's do what we want to do, people will still steal and all that. But when we're done borrowing all that money, we'll not get to come back to the point where we say we want to pay. And we're paying the money. I don't think there's a problem. I'm not one of those who do social media economics and begin to lament that China want to come and take over Nigeria. Emmanuel, I say your mom is not my mom was an illiterate. She didn't go to school, so she was not educated. She's dead now. Let's be very honest. But she was a smart woman. Okay, there's a difference. Let's try and understand. Illiteracy is product of education or not having that education. Being smart is a product of experience and common sense combined. My mom had plenty of common sense. She's smart, she's experienced, she speaks truth to people. She tells you good name is better than riches. I didn't understand what she was saying then because we're very poor. And I was like, all the good name you have, where's the money? What are we benefiting? Good name, good name, good name. When I've grown up, I understand what she was saying. Good name is better than riches. Okay. Uh, she was also not educated in traditional way, my dear. My mom just didn't get it. Apparently, she became an orphan when she was 8, so it was a different conversation entirely. Okonta, it said everything you talked about is a symptom of a terrible constitution. No, it's not a symptom. I've heard people say this thing, and I've had this sit down with lawyers, with politicians, honest ones. The constitution is not bad. The constitution is not bad. People in Nigeria are bad. White people kill black people every day in America. Okay, so it's a symptom. So let's agree that that's a symptom of the American Constitution. Go to Chicago, black people kill black people. It's a symptom of what? Mexicans, Latinos kill Latinos in Miami. It's a symptom of what? It's not a symptom of the Constitution. That is the choices that people make. So when you want to excuse it, you go and talk about Constitution. No, we are creating excuses for people bad behavior. People who hold your document, you buy a land, you want to process paper. What is very simple. Somebody goes to work every day, that's his responsibility. They don't do it. That's not constitution. That's just the people who are evil. That's just it. 14H is said about football. What nobody is saying is that most of the present players are below average, not really good enough. I agree with you 100%. I remember before the AFCON, and you can check my YouTube channel and you will see. Me and Emmanuel was in the studio. Emmanuel asked this question about Alex Iwobi and Aribo, and I said I was going to start Aribo over Alex Iwobi. And a lot of people were insulting me. Well, some people supported me. A lot of people were insulting me. The funny thing is, people always go back to delete their comments. Nations Cup started. First match, Aribo started. Second match, Aribo started. Like every game, Aribo started. And, he did well. Every time Iwobi comes in, he drifts out of position. There's no positional discipline. He loses the ball too often. Just that is what happened. Simple pass that you got. You were free. You were wide, spreading your leg wide, like woman that wants to urinate in public places. Okay, and then you lose the ball. You try to recover it. You got a red card. I'm not blaming him for a red card. I'm just stating the obvious. But when you speak that, Nigerians will say, "Oh, you hate them." All through the last 2 years, I've said that Moses Simon is a good dribbler, but his problem is he does not know how to cross the ball. People will call me and say, "You can't say that." There's some journalists who think that it is their responsibility to justify a bad player. That's why he has created 6 assists for his club. This boy does not know how to cross the ball. No, yeah. See where we are. Chukwueze, I said something about Chukwueze. People were attacking me. Like, oh, it's because it's an Igbo boy. If it was from Niger Delta, I would not be saying that. But that's not the truth. I criticize Niger Delta players too. Okay? But long and short, we went to the Nations Cup. Everything I said came true. So sometimes people realize that we don't have the quality that they think we have. We don't. They just think, oh, we have top players. No, we don't have top players. We have average players. Emmanuel Okota say, we are who we are because our constitution is terrible. No, we were who we are. We have been who we are before we had a constitution. It's not. If my son is lying, my son is going to be 10 this month. I mean, this year, by April 16th. If my son is lying now, is it the constitution that constitutes? No, it's not. In your estate that you live in, people cannot give up on Saturday, one Saturday, and say, let us clean all the drainage. Every man in each company on this estate should come out in front of their house. Clear only your house. And then there are those land that nobody has built. You will not combine yourself and clear it so that we save ourselves from mosquitoes and malarias and all those things that come with it. Do we do it? What has that got to do with constitution? Nothing. It's just who we are. It's just who we are. Is it the constitution that make young people think that everything you want to respond to on social media, you must insult somebody? Is that the constitution? Is it the constitution that makes pastors manipulate people, sleep with people's wives, sleep with people's doctor, get people pregnant, force them to do abortion, or gather people to beat them to death, or use the name of God to manipulate people anyhow, force people to drink water from a drum that the pastor bath himself, or all the things that would do? Is it constitution? It's not a constitution because you have nothing to do with it. We lost our humanity a long time ago. It has nothing to do with our constitution. Okay, doesn't mean that they are not good Nigerians, but I'm just telling you the constitution is not a problem. Go and read the constitution. One of the things that when people get this argument of, I say, okay, please show me the section of the constitution that is bad, and show me the section of the constitution that says you must steal national cake. Show me the part of the constitution, which provision in that constitution that says you must steal national cake. It's just people who don't have conscience, and then a few people who justify it. But we're not here when our vice president, the same man that a lot of people are saying is the next person to be president, said that Buhari is poorer after 4 years as president, that is poorer now than he was before he became president. The Buhari that you know before now, when was the last time you heard that Buhari was going abroad for treatment? Got into power, he forgot that he was living in this country, he didn't die, nothing happened. All of a sudden, every small headache, he goes abroad. That's not the constitution. That's just him. And that's just who we are. The constitution not says that if you're going to go out, you should transmit power. It's in the constitution. It's written there. How many times has he traveled? Sometimes he traveled for 3 months. It's not back. It's not transmitting powers. The one time he transmitted power that the Osibajo felt it was so powerful, he sacked a police IG. The president not come back and change it, not veto it. So what I was saying, this has nothing to do with constitution. It's just the basic behavior that people have. The constitution that makes us not fix electricity. This country cannot have its own electricity. I've been in Cameroon since never particular. I've not heard generator noise. It's not like I came to stay in one place. So I went to the village side, the place where they're having Boko Haram fights. Nobody have generator. I did stay in a hotel in Garoua. I paid for house accommodation. I said, let me even stay house. Where I say we rented, because of how big the team is, we rented 2-bedroom flat, 3. No generator. Light no go off one day. I know they carry charger our car. If I come back, I'll charge. I know the fear. No power bank. It's got nothing to do with constitution. You can argue, but it's got nothing to do with constitution. People tell lies every day. It's not the constitution. It's who we are. All the punishment you have in foreign constitution or any constitution you want to write, they are in this one. See, it's the constitution that make police stop people for road and carry them to ATM and force them to pay money. If you still change the constitution, that same police will still do the same thing. It's nothing you can do. Nothing. Constitution is just written word by men. People have to make up their mind that no, we're not going to continue like this. And then we'll see changes. Good evening to you, Michael Makiwa. And then Emmanuel Kotesa, I disagree with you. American Constitution part. It is one of the greatest documents ever written, and is okay. So let me tell you this thing. You know that America is not really a country. America is a mental construct. So let me show you some example. Growing up, I used to think that Adolf Hitler was a bad guy. But now you can't convince me that he's a bad guy because I've done my own research. Technology advancement is due to Adolf Hitler. All those 6 million Jews that they said Adolf Hitler killed, I don't even want to believe it anymore because I think it's media. Because the same media told us that Adolf Hitler was racially against Jesse Owens and all those black athletes. Jesse Owens said that it is his own president in America that hosted the white athletes and then segregated against the black athletes. But it's not written anywhere in American history. The American Constitution, go and read it. So I've read the Constitution from the First Amendment to the last one. Go and read it. Do you know that the American Constitution does not make provision for black people. Until this very day, they've not bothered to amend it. So what makes it a great, that a black man is even saying that American Constitution is the greatest document ever written? It's pissing me off already. This is the slave mentality. But it's your choice. Disagree with me all you like. I've lived in the same America the way you like. You know, I used to have American passport. I burnt it. I used to have that blue passport. I burnt it. I woke up one morning and I burnt it. I carry my green passport. I travel back to this country. So one of the things you need to know, is media manipulates us. Media and religion manipulates us so much so that we believe things without even questioning it anymore. Just the same way we believe the Bible that is written to us forever. One day I asked a question in church, I remember. I said, come on, how come this Bible does not have the story of the devil? What is the Bible hiding? And people looked at me like I was the Antichrist. It was just a simple, harmless young boy's question. All I needed was answer. Somebody could have answered me, giving me anything. It might not be true, but just give me an answer. But guess what? I was treated like I was an Antichrist. They went to tell my mom that I need deliverance. You can say what you want to say about America. Just the same way you don't agree with my position of the Nigerian Constitution, you can't convince me by the American Constitution. I wish we were having a private conversation and I'll prove to you the American Constitution is one of the worst documents ever made. What Constitution? The Constitution that produced people like Steve Crow. Let's not talk about American Constitution. Let's not talk, because this is their platform. Let's not just even talk about it at all. Let's not have that conversation at all. American Constitution has supported the killing of people more than any other constitution in the world. And you say it's the best document ever written. Guy, check history well. The war did not start 2 days ago. The war did not start 2 days ago. Greatest document ever written. Yeah, I beg. I don't even want to have that part of the conversation, because if you start, it will stir up a whole lot of anger. The white people that gets away with it get away with the gray area. Oh, there's gray areas. I don't know. I thought it's the greatest document. Something is a great document and it still have gray area. Okay, of the document, and that depends on the state. Okay, now it depends on the state. Okay, no problem. State laws that are draconian, not the American Constitution issue. Okay. You say what you want to say. Michael Makiwa, he says, should Amo be called up against Ghana match, or does he just seem good because he's playing in a bad league? Swedish league is not a bad league. I played in that league. It's not a bad league. That comment is disrespectful. And again, this is one thing that Nigerians like to do. We should stop it. We should have respect for people. It's that attitude that makes Tunisia beat us. Nigeria will beat Tunisia 5-0. They are not good enough. Everybody will make noise in the stadium. I said, now football won't play. People were making noise. We'll beat the 5-0. They have COVID. This is not available. They beat us. What makes a league not to be good? The Swedish league is better than the MLS league, the US league. It's better than the Nigerian league. The Swedish league might not be as great as the French league because of lack of investment, but the Swedish league is just as good as any other league where football is played. So you can't say it's a bad league. Amao is a good player. But what's the position is coming to take in the Super Eagles? We can't put the World Cup qualifying match to a player like that. Okay, so somebody will tell me, Olise made his debut against Ethiopia and he went on to the African Nations Cup, provided more assists than any other person. Provided the assist for the first goal in 94 and provided the assist for the last goal. And all in all, he provided 5 assists and then a secondary assist. So you can say 6 assists in the tournament. Yes, I agree. I'm not going to argue that. But Nigeria was playing Ethiopia that they don't even need a win to qualify. We're going to play Ghana that's badly bruised and battered out of the Nations Cup. And you want us to go and experiment. We went to this Nations Cup with some debutants and it didn't work. But those guys have gained valuable experience. Would you not rather trust them than to go and bring in Amao? Let's not play in the senior national team. Let's not forget. He's going to come in, he's a kid, and he makes one mistake, we'll bury him. We just have a young goalkeeper who did not even make a mistake, but considered a goal. Look at what Nigerians are doing to him. Have we thought about this confidence going forward? I don't think Amao should complain in the Super Eagles for the Ghana match. First of that game is too big. Look for friendly matches, look for other matches. He comes in and is integrated gradually, because the only reason you're calling Amaona is that he should come in and become the focal point. Look at what Olise did with Sadiq Omar. Gave him his debut against Egypt, came in the second half, 10 minutes to go. Gave him a second game. Nigerians were the same Nigerians who were still complaining, but these were the same Nigerians that wanted to kick and throw that wasn't inviting Omar Sadiq. Omar Sadiq was scoring week in, week out in Italy, in Spain. They gave him 2 games. The third game we had already qualified, so go and start. Up until when Sadiq Omar scored that goal, it was useless, practically useless. Because the people were whistling him already, taking him out, blah, blah, blah. Then he gave him a chance, and the Malaysian played a very beautiful pass. He scored. The whole country erupted again. All of he's a bad player, he's a Hausa quarter who forgot that. Now, the game they played him against was practically his best game in the tournament. So, running to the channel, running behind the last man, he was running left, running right, straight of energy. Was driving the team. He really wanted to win. But inexperience, because you commit to that much energy, you will lose composure. Inexperience made him lose 2 or 2.5 chances that they had. We're out of the Nations Cup, right? If you look carefully, bringing Amao right now, I don't think it's a good advice. To leave him, give him time, let us see where he can go. Let him have another season, good season, and we'll see. I wouldn't advocate him to be taken to the World Cup, but World Cup is still in the next 5 years. Let's talk about World Cup when somebody is qualified. And there they say, would you consider Ndidi and Osimhen as fantastic players? How good do you think Aribo can be? Aribo can be better than he is right now. He can contribute to his game, but he's young. Okay, I've been a young player before, so I know he's still young. But don't forget that football that we play is built around statistics. How many times you touch the ball, how many times you pass the ball, how quick you can transition the ball from the first to attack, all of those things. So he's building his game around all of that. He's a great player. He's a great player. He's world class. He's at the top. Osimhen is not as good as we say he is. I naturally like the boy. Osimhen is not as good as we say he is, because there are so many flaws to his game. Osimhen runs too much energy when he shouldn't. Osimhen does not stay focused. Sometimes he's distracted. Osimhen was the reason they actually brought Igalo back. Osimhen, sometimes just does not know the difference between getting over exuberant and playing it simple. Once you use a sledgehammer to kill a fly and all that. But he's a good player. But I won't put him in, he's a world-class striker. It's not there. It's not there. But he can get there because he's got the potential. He's got the potential to be like a Samuel too. He's got everything in him. We just need to stay calm. He's distracted mentally. That's what I think. But it's not like he's one player that got his age. Small boy. Okay? He would mature in the process and become a better player. I have faith in Osimhen, like round the clock. I think he's going to be a better player. Wilfred Ndidi, what people want him to do is he should actually shooting. Wilfred Ndidi actually scored goals. He got the best goal of the season when he was in Belgium. He scored some goals. But you see, when he plays in the Super Eagles, he's asked to stay in front of the centre back, because we don't have solid vision on that kind of centre back. We just have 2 centre back who could be shaky. So be the third man in the centre back. That's why you see in a couple of games we played in the Nations Cup, the fullbacks were going forward. Olaino and Olaino is also a kid, and Zai Sanusi, who's the holder, bumping forward. Against Tunisia, I think that we were scared. We played with fear. We played to defend us the same way they are, but we can't control. The final start with the system we play, we didn't change until we were one man down. That's it. But those 3 players, good players. Wilfred Ndidi is my top three. Wilfred is a fantastic player. I think that he will match any other defensive midfielder, game for game, time for time, time for tackle, and everything. And the advantage that he can play center back perfectly, because his career center back. But good player, but not great. Yes, it can be great. It definitely can be great. Okay. Aribo can be better too. That tends to improve. Fortune say Iguavon will still have problems, young forward, if he doesn't overhaul the team and rebuild his own organic starting 11. He must collapse what Rob built so he can be successful. Really? Okay. What's your opinion? Malakot, I say your mother's constitution is a good name, is better than gold, and it stayed with you till date. If you were raised by a woman who allowed you to do whatever, you would not be principled today. I don't think so. So you don't know my mother. You don't know how I grew up. The way I was raised to end up as an armed robber, a drug addict. You don't know me. And I hate it when people say this. There are fantastic things about my mom, but you don't know her. My mom gave me this mark because I came fifth in class. You know what? You know how terrible that is? You don't know the story. You don't know the back end story. And that's exactly what you're doing with the American Constitution. There is plenty of ignorance in that talk, but I leave it for another day. Listen, people decide who they want to be. I always tell people that my father died when I was 15 months old, but I'm a true son of my father. Like, my father's blood runs in me. Because all of the stories that I've heard of my father are practically my dad in this form. So I'm one of the very few, or one person, let me not say very few people, because there's a lot of people, there's over 7 billion people in this world, over 8 billion now. I've never had to deal with peer pressure all my life. Right? That's why I never smoked, I never drank, never beat a woman before. It's not about my mom. And people just kind of distribute credit too much to people who don't deserve it. It's not about my mom. And I'm not saying this that I hate my mom. I love my mom. Like, my mom is everything to me, because there was no option. It's like Adam and Eve. Adam didn't have an option. That's the only woman he saw. That's the only woman he married. If out of his rib, he woke up and God created 10 women, you will know if Adam can cheat or he cannot cheat. Where there is no option, my mom, I used to tell my mom that, when a person does not have the money to fund their habit, they become decent. Give them money to fund their habit, and then you see who they really are. So I don't think it's because of my mom, or because I was the black sheep of the family. My younger ones really do have fear for my mom. I don't have that fear. I grew up knowing that, I will do what I want to do. You shout, you flog me, you beat me, you do whatever you want to do, but I'll do what I want to do. But I was quick to know right from wrong. I traveled a lot all my life, and I read a lot of books pretty early. So if there was one thing that raised me, it was books and music. That's the real thing. The real thing that shaped me. It's not my mom. It's not. Because my mom have beaten me for things that I didn't even know. I'm not aware of. That's not how to raise children. I can raise my children. My 7-year-old daughter was going to be 8 in May. Every time we talk about this scar on my face, she always says this word: if your mom was alive, I would sew her to cut for disfiguring your face. She says that all the time. My daughter gets angry when she hears that my mom that gave me this scar on my face. You don't want to know what happened. If you look this side of my face, there's a small scar. I came fifth in a class of over 50 people in primary 5, and she beat me, cut me here. It didn't enter. She said the razor broke, tied my hands and my leg in the back, locked the door, went to Oluba man's shop, bought another razor blade, and came back and gave me the big scar. For what? I came fifth in the class. You know why I came fifth in the class? Because for the whole term, this was a time where things were very rough. We didn't have money. We're homeless. My mom couldn't pay school fees. So they said, primary 5, we can't do It's like junior classes is different, but you're in primary five, you still write common entrance, you can't come to school, you can't come to class. So what happens is they chase me out of the class, I will stay outside, just be listening from the window for the whole time. When it was time to write exam, the late Mr. Vincent Lawful, as my school principal, said, this is one of our best students. We cannot let you not to write exam. Okay, I'll pay the money, come and write the exam. Pay the money, I wrote my exams. But obviously, I was not in class. You know what that means? I missed out on some vital information and lessons. So I came fifth. For not attending class the whole term, I came fifth. My ignorant mom felt like, how can you be coming first and second regularly? All of a sudden, you come fifth. You have gone to join gang. No questions asked, nothing. It's somebody that I keep telling every day. They are driving me from class, so they are driving me from class. I keep copying people's notes, something I don't do before. But I don't get money now. What am I do? Make I cut my eye, give you. But at the same time, that same person comment. So don't tell me, hey, don't even say that, because that pisses me off when I hear people say it. I'm who I am because I woke up one morning and it's like, I'm going to be different. And that's pretty early. My first 5 years I was in the UK, try and understand. So I've dealt with misculture and all that. It's not because my mom was principal. Yes, that's the rules she lives by. Good name is better than riches. But listen, so let me give you a very vintage example. Never said that we don't talk. And we used to talk, but he would call me and say, you're the compass, you're the compass. So what I called him, I said, hold on, hold it. You raise me with fear and trembling. When you come in, we all melt and disappear like a rat that is a cat. We never had a time to sit down and talk. There's no relationship. There's nothing. Now you are older, you're lonely because my mom is dead. You want me to call you every time and say, oh, how are you? Have you eaten? What are you doing? I don't give a fuck about that shit. I can't do it because you didn't raise me like that. So if you want somebody to talk, please go marry another wife and have a companion, because I'm not going to be that person. It took offense. But I don't care. Am I rude? Am I bad? No, I'm not. That's how you raise me. That's the seed you planted. It has grown. It's a tree. You can't change it anymore. You can't return the DNA anymore. There's never a relationship. There's no bond. So it's just human. But there are times when you wake up and like, okay, this is my life. I'm going to take control of my destiny, of my life. I'm not going to be like these people. You know the reason why I'm always there for my kids? Because nobody was there for me. I can't remember anybody coming to school for my recital, for anything that I did. Right? I was to register myself in secondary school. So don't bring that conversation. It doesn't work. That's not even a constitution. And that's the way I was raised. If that's a constitution, I would have killed my children. I've been kicked with safety boots that have iron in my ribs many times. This is artificial teeth. I said that kicked me in my teeth and it cracked. During COVID, the teeth fell off completely. I had to go change it. Don't tell me about it. See my head. Let's not even don't even tell me that crap. It doesn't work. You don't even know how I grew up. In the backside of the worry. So don't use that as an example. What I say for constitution, I use Nigerian constitution ahead of American constitution. You don't like it, you might not like it. But let's look at this thing from a holistic point of view. Slavery was ended 150 years ago. Black people in America are still slaves today. Women started voting 110, 115 years ago in America. Women are still looked at second class in America. America is the gold standard that everybody looked at. Okay, in the 60s, 70s, 80s, and even the 90s, the brutality in America is like post-apocalyptic vampire world. Nigeria is what America used to be in the 60s. We're better. We are evolving. You cannot, in any way, you can't bring Emmanuel Sebastian and compare him to me. So there's technology, so everybody's supposed to be equally. And then what about Singapore, Dubai, and the rest of them? Yeah, That kind of conversation is sweet. But you can't bring Emmanuel Sebastian to come analysis with me, and you expect him to beat me to it. You know, fit. You not go fit. Because what I've got, it doesn't have it. It will take years of sacrifice, hard work, dedication, traveling, gaining experience to be there. That's where we are. Another thing, when people talk about Nigeria, America, and the rest of the countries, I always ask one question: the taxes you people pay in those countries, we agree to pay them here. In Nigeria, you can afford to hold your landlord 2 years. Can you try it in America? You can't. The things that we do here, can you do it in America? No. It's not based on the Constitution. It's because you're afraid that you're deported, right? So, but if you go back, this same Constitution, they've not changed the American Constitution. This same Constitution allowed Jim Crow to do the things that he did. This same Constitution allowed the Wild Wild West to exist the way it was. This same Constitution created the kind of system that we have. So don't tell me American Constitution is the greatest book ever written. No, that's not true. Now maybe you travel to America, you live there, you enjoy it. This same Constitution allowed the assassination of Martin Luther King. This same Constitution allowed the assassination of John F. Kennedy because it was aligning towards black ideologies. You guys, calm down, okay? We're bad, but we're not horrible. We're not beyond redemption. We would be redeemed. We would be better. It's going to take time. I'm an incredible optimist. I'm an incredible believer of Nigeria. But one of the things that I won't take is when people. The reason why some of you are talking about this constitution is because you listen to channels every day. It's like listening to Fox News every day. If you listen to Fox News for 5 years, Republicans will be the greatest political party in the world. Right? Same way if you listen to CNN every day of your life, the Democrats are the greatest political party in the world. Let me give you a very good example. Before I went to Brazil in 2014, I've never been to Brazil before. I've never been to South African countries. I traveled Europe, Asia, America, Canada. Right? I went to Brazil. But before I went to Brazil, all of the news about Brazil is full of sickness, AIDS, armed robbery, terrible things. America is one of the only very few countries in the world that hosted the World Cup and the Olympics in a space of 2 years. China hosted the World Cup in the Olympics in 2018. There was Korea, Japan that hosted the 2000 World Cup. Right? So we not had that space where the country hosted. I was in Brazil 5 years plus. 5 weeks plus. It was one of the greatest countries I've ever visited in my life. Nice people, wonderful country, the best class in Sao Paulo than the whole of Africa put together. That's a fact. Beautiful food, only people. But CNN made it look like if you go to Brazil, you just die instantly. It's not true. So sometimes get off the news and be deductive on your own and ask yourself. 49% of America live below the poverty line. That's the greatest constitution in the world. America has 300 million people, right? China have 1.3 billion people. America have more people in prisons than China. What's the ratio? How is that possible? There are more people incarcerated for crimes that they didn't commit in America than any other country on the planet. 205 countries on this planet, including Russia and China. Communist Russia, Communist China, and what's the kind of government running in Russia? Is racism or communism? I don't know. America have more people incarcerated for crimes they didn't commit than any other country. This is America that have the technology, the forensic, and everything. That's the country you are hailing here. Even more than Nigeria. These are not my opinion. No. These are facts. You can Google it, search for it, you see it. I spend more money in prison than they spend in education. So don't bring this whole constitution American. Let's keep it in the bush. Michael, my guy. Your jerseys does. People they follow me drag jerseys if they want to steal the jersey from me. It's at 40. So what player should he use? And where will he get them? Attire, where will he get them from? I think the team we have is okay. I just need some guys like Desas, Akpoguma, etc. Okay. Makiwa. Man, this thing, man, I won't sleep now. Mm. Okay, so Fortuna replies, Michael, I feel you were so unlucky for not having world class grade A players at the moment. Okay, it's not being unlucky. So players are not just there; they're not just there. We've never had many grade A players apart from Rashidi Akini and Sandolise, Uche Okechukwu, Celestine Babayaro, Ben Niroa, Finidi George Amonike. We really not had world class grade A, world class players anyway. So we've always had average players. Emmanuel Okonta, I say, I will especially agree to disagree with you. I will rest it. Okay, better. Anyways, Iguavon needs to be very disciplined with present players to be successful. For instance, why allow Okoye to attend to a strange woman who came to present Okoye portrait picture? God, should I say what I want to say here? You people just talk rubbish when it comes to football, Sha. Like when you people talk, like when you say this person is talking from their ass, they don't even think before they say this thing. That's crazy. Do you know how the Super Eagles camp is in Cameroon? So this is not one of those Super Eagles events where you will say somebody told me or I'm trying to. I was in the Super Eagles camp every single day. You know how that camp is. Somebody brings a picture. If that lady brings the picture, it's not as if they went to present it inside his room. Okay. The commissioner of police in Cameroon is the chaperone of the Super Eagles. The Super Eagles team is in a hotel that no other person stays, only the Super Eagles stays there. Okay. The access to that room, that hotel, if the secretary die or did not give, the team administrator die or did not give approval, the CSO did not give approval, you can't come in. If you don't have previous appointment, you can't come in. If the team does not agree, this is where the psychologist is. So it is, why do we always find fault in things that are not even meant to be faulty? And then this person comes in and brings in a frame, and then that's a problem. When did the frame come in? Was it before match or after match? Was it free day? Was it during training? When did the frame come in? Is that's not a problem? When we lost in 2019 semi-finals, people said that Genetro was sleeping with one girl. Is the girl that he was sleeping with that brought bad luck. Sometimes we should grow past this thing. Some things should not even be said in public space because it makes people look at us like say we no get sense. Some things should not be said at all. Do you know how many activities that goes on in the camp of other European top clubs? People go, sponsors go to do activities. They take them to go do sponsors activities. They lose game. Do they come back and blame the sponsor? So the girl comes in and give him the phone. Did he sleep with the girl? Did he take the girl to his room? A fan? Come on. Let's get past this kind of. Some things are just they're too mundane, and I don't have the patience to deal with them. So sometimes when people say it, I'm like, okay, where's this person heading to? What's the reason? Why? We should be bigger than this by now. But you calm down. Oh. It's just a desire to see bad, to speak negative. We lost a game, simple. We are not the best team in the world. We're not the best team in Africa. Some teams will beat us. We will beat some teams. Algeria is the defending champion of this tournament. Why is anybody? Is it women that make them lose the game? Is it indiscipline that make them lose their game? Algeria didn't win a single game in this tournament. They were beaten by Equatorial Guinea. Ghana came to this tournament. What's it called? Comoros beat them. Did they take picture with woman that make them to lose? You should calm down, huh? This one too. Where's Emmanuel Okonta? This conversation too is because of the constitution, Rabbi. Mhm. Emmanuel Okonta, I say Olisena King. I can confidently say he is one of the greatest player Nigeria ever produced. My opinion. This is my all-time greatest player. So I agree with you on that one. Hello, he said, please, your sound is breaking. I know it's your network. My sound is not breaking, it's your network. Uh, Fortune, you say your audio quality is bad. It's network, it's not me. It's nothing I can do. Then it's network. Fix your speakers. No, I can't fix my speaker. I'm not supposed to be hearing myself. It's a mic that is fixed. Say again, wrong opinion. It's the mic. And the reason why that is happening is the network. It's not the same way I was talking since the beginning, is how I'm talking now. So it's the network. I told you from the beginning that the network in Cameroon is terrible. Ade, he said, do you think Maduka Okoye should remain if in the team? Why not? Why shouldn't he remain? He should remain in the team. What did Maduka Okoye even do to you people? I don't understand. I can't even figure out what Maduka Okoye have done that everybody's saying this. I don't even know who is better between Maduka and Uzor. They are both good. Watch them in training, but Maduka Okoye is the team's number one goalkeeper. Okay, so it stays. He didn't make a mistake. He didn't do anything. Consider a penalty and he considered a snapshot. I don't think I can blame him for that one. Fortunately, you're so emotional talking about your mom. Sorry for the abuse. Hey, you're a man now. Easy to talk that kind of things anyway. I hate people who say these things that you're a man. All those people say men don't cry, take it like a man. I hate them because that's stupid talk, because it's cliche. You don't know what people feel. You don't know the hurt that people go through. You don't go and say, hey, you're a man. That's not what you say to people. If you want to say sorry, say sorry. If you don't want to say sorry, nobody's asking you to say it. Sometimes don't just say anything. Michael McEnway say, wow, this car story is really deep. How hard was it forgiving your mom? I didn't need to forgive her. Like, she's my mom. I didn't need to forgive her. It happened when I was like before my 10th birthday. So that was not the time when you carry grudge, but you just know that it just make you understand that you cannot be ignorant in your life, because ignorance can make you kill people. Because the only reason why I have this scar on my face is the ignorance of my mom. So rather than the word is not forgive, because I really did not carry grudge against my mom. I was never a time I hated my mom. There was never a time I had grudges. But I'm not going to sit where where people come up and try to make it look like, oh, my mom made me this man. It's not true. It's not true. I'm not one of the things that irritates me is lies or packaging, as people say, especially in Lagos. I won't do that. I'll call a spade a spade. Like, I remember when in 2018 I was doing live Instagram and I said I was sacked by Brilla. It was November 2018. And somebody wrote, big man like you shouldn't be saying that they sack you. It will affect your brand. But I was sacked. Which brand? Let's affect the brand now. Truth will affect a brand. Lie will promote a brand. I didn't get it. But it's crazy anyway. That's how we roll. Emmanuel Okonta will still say it's the constitution that caused that one. Oh yeah, no verse. I quoted what you said she raised you with, so I stand corrected. You like to argue. Sometimes learn to understand that if you stepped over the line with people, you apologize and you move on, or you stay away from it. Not everything we argue for. This is an open conversation. I'm the one that opened this conversation. if somebody corrects you, it's my story, it's not your story. The fact that my mom gave me a scar does not also mean that every day of her life she was using iron to flog me. So if I quote something she said, you're embodying that quote and I'm making it look like what defined my life is wrong. So if somebody corrects you, I think you should move because it's my biography, it's not yours. You're making it look like you're the one that was my next door neighbor and you were there when I was growing up. You were not there. So try to understand that piece. I'm not angry with you, but I don't like the way some people take conversation and want to make it look like, oh, I was there when it happens. It doesn't work like that. Try to understand that this is my life. This is not somebody's story we're talking about. This is me, my own experience, right? So there was the ups, there was the down, there was the low, there was the middle, plain and rough, smooth patches and all that. So you can't take one quote from one line, one experience of a line, and think that that is the definition of everything that happens. Because the way you made it sound like that's what embodied what formed the person that I am. No, it's not. So I corrected you. But if you want to argue, enjoy yourself. I can't beat you to it, but it is wrong to do that. Let's no, if we're going to be talking like friends, we need to be honest with each other. You get honest with me, I need to get honest with you too. So that you don't say things that is not good. And you get away don't forget that your comment here is just going to be there permanently. Okay? Unless I delete this video. Fortunately, say my stepmom tried to poison me too by feeding me mango and gari. Is that poison? Mango and gari, is it poisonous? Well, I'm not really a gari person, but I don't think I've had that combination. But I'm really a mango person. I love mango a lot growing up. Mango trees around me where we grew up. So mango, pear, cashew, orange. But the orange is never ripe. I don't know. Every other fruit around us was orange was never ripe. Maybe because we're too plenty, so we didn't allow it to grow ripe. But every other one like pear, mango, pawpaw. But I didn't like pawpaw growing up, sha. Even till this moment, I don't think I enjoy pawpaw. Just the same way I don't enjoy watermelon, but my daughter likes it, so I eat watermelon because my daughter, not like I like it too. But don't tell her, sha. Emmanuel, because I say let's leave the American, no, not leave them more consider issue. I rested it already. The things you are saying is not factual, but I need us to move on. What is not factual? Jim Crow? The Jim Crow matter was not factual. Assassination of Martin Luther King is not factual. White on black crime is not factual. Correct me. Correct me if I think we need to bring it back because those are the things that I've mentioned. Tell me. I mean, recently, a black man, 4 guys knelt down on the black man. They still almost tried to manipulate the case. And if that was 4 black men on the neck of a white man in America that died, that same constitution that made those police to go to get a slap in the wrist and go to that prison, that same constitution will hang all the 4 black men. It's not factual. Are you sure it's not factual? Or that America spends more money on prison. This is a fact from America's own system, not me. Let me even show you, Seth. Let me post it on the comment section because when you say somebody says something that's not factual, you're not defending my character. So let me defend myself. Okay. The US spends $81 billion a year on mass incarceration, according to the Bureau of Justice Statistics. That's not Nigerian Bureau, it's American Bureau of Justice Statistics. And the figure might be an underestimate. In 2017, the Prison Policy Initiative estimated that the actual cost on states and federal government and impacted families is roughly 182 billion US dollars. That's not my comment. That's and American statistics? The US spend billions to lock people up, but very little to help. This is not me. This is America. Okay? Annual prison cost a huge part of state and federal budget. Hello, this is not me. So if you say what I am saying is not factual, I would really love for you to prove that to me. Okay. Homelessness in America. Because I need you to type this thing. I'm not even type anything, don't show up because it's like constant. What's it called? The basics in January 2020, there were 580,466 people experiencing homelessness in a state in the United States of America. Most were individuals, 70%, and the rest were people living in families with children. They lived in every state and territory. They reflected the diversity of our country. I'm not the one saying it. That's an American website. That's American statistics. So I'm trying to understand what is factual and what is not factual. People that are wrongly incarcerated in America. Statistics of people wrongly incarcerated in America. Factor we say Nigeria. I know me say we don't really know what to happen for the rest of the world, but let's just ask. Researchers can use the number of DNA exoneration and extrapolate from there to estimate how many innocent people are in prison right now. Most estimates put the numbers at between 15 to 27% of American prisoners are incarcerated wrongly. That's one of the greatest countries in the world, though. And guess what? 85% of that numbers are black people. I don't understand how that thing just touched on only black people. But I'm just giving you my fact. You can counter it. You can say, it's a lie, but this is where your fact comes from, not your opinion, because your opinion is already skewed against Nigeria. So I don't want to hear your opinion. I want to hear your fact. If you say what I've said is not factual, I've given you my fact. I've read my fact out to you. I'm sure you will read your own facts. You will check. The internet is for everybody anyway, so let's not fight about it. Michael Makinwa, you say, sound is really cracking up. Hard to hear what you're saying. Then it's the internet, and I think it's about time we end the conversation today and tomorrow when I'm in Nigeria. Oh no, tomorrow if I'm not going to do live tomorrow. I'm going to do live the day after on my show. Fortune, you should say in America, average 1 month rent is 800,000 naira per month. If you don't pay by the 5th of the month, you are getting evicted. I too planning to come back home to live hard everywhere. Okay. I thought America is very easy to live in. Because my dear, I have visited 53 countries for vacations and I have a lot of first-hand accounts. When you go your vacation, how long do you stay? Let's start with that. Because I know that vacation, the word vacation means maximum you spend 6 weeks. In 6 weeks, the first 2 or 3 weeks, you are enjoying yourself. You don't get to live the everyday experience because anybody who's going on vacation have money. You move in, you stay in an hotel. You don't go there to put your children in school. You don't go there to live the everyday life with people, work in their companies, work in the high, medium, and low income places. Anybody that can afford vacation is going to live in hybrid area. Is going to live in worse mid-range area. So the fact that you come to Lagos and you live in Surulere or Ikoyi or VI or Aja, does not tell the story of what happens in Okoko or in Ajegule or in Abulegba or in Shongo and the rest of them. That or in Ekpe, that's the truth. Now, if you want to tell me the story of what happens there, I will tell you because I've lived in Lagos for this next month is going to be 19 years that I've been in Lagos. I should be able to tell you that because I've gone around Agege, Ajegule, Okoko, everywhere. I've gone around all those places. I've met with people, I've interacted with people. It's a different thing from going on vacation. I've been to Cameroon twice before. I didn't know that Cameroon is what it is now because I came here, I spent over 10 days, and I've met the people. I've met the people on the street, in the marketplace. I've had conversations with them. I'm not talking of foreigners living here. I'm talking of the people that lives here. I've seen the difference. I've seen places that are ravished, people that are suffering, people that are dealing with issues. But the previous times that I came here, flew in, enter hotel, spend 2 days, go back. Cameroon is a lovely country. If I go back, I use that impression. But today, I know the difference. I know the oppression and suppression that is here. Those are two different things entirely. And let's say this trip that I just came to Douala, stay, I went to Yaoundé, and that's it called. Yaoundé, and go back, I will have a different impression. Garoua is like Yola or like Beduguri. See the village. I saw the country. It's different. That's my point. So there are people, I used to be like you, there are people that are infatuated about America. America can never do wrong by them. I used to be like that. I used to. I grew up in the era of visa lottery. Try to understand that. People of the generation will not understand that. I grew up in the era of visa lottery going to the post office. And I'm one of those people who benefited from it. But listen, I know what I experienced. I stayed in the US. Fifth Avenue in New York. I stayed there. Moved to Maryland. Truck everywhere. New Jersey. Travel. Went to San Antonio, Texas. Listen, America is a great country. I'm not going to argue about that. But you see, what I don't want to accept is people thinking that once you live in America, everything is hunky-dory. It's fine. We're not talking of the number of people who getting hooked on drugs because Nigerian numbers is also rising very high. Like the drug epidemic in Nigeria is worse than coronavirus. But all of those are also vices in America. Bottom line, what I'm saying is the best countries in the world are also dealing with issues the same way we're dealing with issues. If there's anybody that's supposed to be castigating Nigeria, I'm the one. I'm suffering. My company is struggling because of how bad things are. I might fold up. But I'm saying that it's not as terrible as people paint the picture. As people paint the picture, it's not as terrible as that. We just have our black spots. People have their black spot. We all live. But we're not as terrible as people say we are. Okay? That's my position. We may not agree, but that is the truth. In America, average 1 month rent is 800,000 naira. No, call it in dollar. They don't spend naira in America. That's where we're getting it wrong. Okay? Just call it in dollar for Emmanuel Okonta so that you understand. Because if you put it in naira, it will win the argument. You'll say, but they're not spending in naira. They're spending in dollars. They're earning in dollars. Okay? My dear, okay, I've read that before. Some people pay up to 1.5 million naira per month on rent. They hardly save money. That's true. Fortune, he said the problem you have is you think no better than everybody, no absolute truth, and you are entitled to your opinion. You are naive and arrogant to insult your audience. No, I'm not insulting my audience, actually. I'm not insulting my audience. And I've always said it, that I don't know better than everybody. But for something that I witnessed with my eye, versus the way you say it with authority, you see, the problem is we give what we can't take. And that's a very big problem. I don't know everything. When you ask me a question about politics, you see my response. I say it clearly. I'm not a politician. So I'm not good at that. But football, if football is a degree awarding course, I have a PhD in it. I am one of a very few people in the whole world who's played it, coached it, managed it, owned a club. I ran a club from amateur street football to pro, that should count for something. I did the first 2 million naira transfer in Nigerian league. First ever 2 million naira transfer. First person who issued a contract with a 35% sell-on clause in the whole of Nigerian football. So if I speak about football, I speak from a position of authority. That's not being naive. That's knowledge. If Wole Soyinka speaks about literature, no matter what I know, I'll listen. I'll pause and I'll listen. You know why? Because that's his field. If a doctor comes in and talk about human anatomy, no matter what I've read or heard or seen, I will listen because that's his field. The problem with us and football is that somebody sits in faraway Nigeria, did not go to the camp of the Eagles and think that they can speak authoritatively and say, oh, a girl came to give frame to a goalkeeper. That's why we lost the game. The truth is, we didn't lose the game because of that. There's no evidence to back it. But the way you put it forward, you made it look like it's indiscipline. How is that indiscipline? You're not proving it. That's not indiscipline. That's not me being naive. Me being naive is playing eye service to you and accepting what you've said, which is wrong. So if we're going to have honest conversation, I should be able to tell you that you are wrong. And in this case, you're wrong. If you consider that an insult, then get the fuck out of my space. It doesn't make me any better to do eye service to you. You lied. And people will come here, watch you, read that comment, and take it out. That's what people have done. If you see the way people attack the Super Eagles, Super Eagles is our old team. It's the only team we have. So if you want to speak truth, speak truth. But if you want to lie, I'm not going to give you my platform to lie. Yes, they presented a gift to him. Yes. If he didn't take it, and that girl goes out on Twitter and say, oh, the same you will say, the arrogance of Maduka Okoye is so much. Somebody spent time to buy a frame, to do a frame and come and give to him. He did not take. What is it feeling like? That's why he considered that goal. That's what you will say. You know, the thing is the hen and the chicken in this situation. Footballers will never be right. They will always be wrong. They win a match is because the opponent was not good enough. They lose a match is because they are not good enough. That's how Nigerian footballers are judged. I saw somebody write something that Egypt's team, the reason we beat them is because Egypt is going down. They are started to plummet. That's why, but Egypt is still in this tournament. Egypt just defeated Cote d'Ivoire. My point to you, Fortune, is do not join bandwagons and don't do bandwagon statements on my platform. Because at the end of the day, as much as I need people, I also need to correct wrong impressions on my platform. It is wrong. Giving a gift to a player does not make the player bad. We considered a goal off the run of play. The midfield was nowhere to be found. The ball went to the wing where Olajuwon is supposed to be blocking. Nobody's even mentioning Olajuwon. Now, this is not me saying that they should kill him because it's a kid. People make mistakes. The attacker got past one of our best players on the field, Wilfred Ndidi. Nobody's mentioning Wilfred Ndidi in this conversation. The two defenders, Kenneth Omero and Trustekon, didn't block the ball. The ball went through, swerved a bit, 40 degrees, hit the floor, the keeper saved it because he had moved to his right, put the balance of his weight on his right, and he came back. But yeah, we'll start bringing abstract because of Gare. People started with his forming fine boy. Is Jesse the dirty? How is Jesse getting dirty a criteria for being a good goalkeeper? Now, someone don't know how Jesse the dirty. How is being a fine boy not a crime? Did he give birth to himself? No. So if you want to find fault in the team, talk to me about tactics. I think this tactics did not work because of this or because of that. Or then I'll listen to you. But when you bring abstract, non-footballing conversation to discredit somebody who, see, among all of us, no matter how much we want it, I put an investment, the $1 million investment to come to Cameroon. I didn't come here to come and do jamboree. Losing money for their exit. It hurts. But I'm not going to kill them because of that. I play football. I understand football. I'm not going to tear the team apart because of that. Right? If there's anybody who's supposed to be ranting right now, it's me. Because I'm losing money. Brought a team of 16, 17 people here from London, from US, everywhere, and we're going back. We've not even gotten the content that we need. So it means we'll spend more money. But hey, let's be honest. And see, I've always said this. If you follow me on radio, said that. Don't like me with lies. That won't work. I won't take that. Let's have honest conversation at all times. This team did not lose because Maduka was bad. This team did not lose because Maduka was indisciplined. This team did not lose because the team was indisciplined. We lost the game maybe because our team, once they announced that Tunisia had 12 people out with COVID, we felt that this team is depleted. But then we will also have to pan through the whole of the AFCON. Apart from Cameroon beating Ethiopia 4-1, no team have been easy to beat in this tournament. Nigeria also beat a team 3-1. That's Guinea-Bissau also. If you look very well, every team have lived up. A team played with 9 men and held their own. A team played with 10 men for the 7 minutes of the game and held their own. Mighty Cameroon. It means that the tournament is not as easy as people think. Some of the teams that people said from the first round are already dead, are still in the competition. Some of the teams that they predicted will go all the way to the finals are already been kicked out of the competition. So you can't just wake up. And I'm looking at social media across other countries. I'm looking at the trending conversation. Nobody's blaming their goalkeeper or this player or that player. Why is Nigeria? We're blaming the coach, we're blaming the players, we're blaming the goalkeeper. If they all die, if they all say, okay, we won't play for Nigeria again, would you wear your boot and come and play for Nigeria? The answer is no. So if you call that one naive, I owe you no apology. I've got to be honest. This is, see, on my page is frank talk. Okay? Give it to ourselves back and front. And we'll do it like that. Who wants to get angry gets angry. The day we come here and we need to laugh, get excited. But we will disagree. That's what men do. I'm not a woman. That's what men do. Okay? We look ourselves in the face and we tell ourselves the truth. If you're lying, you're lying. If you have fact that's superior to my own, put it on the table. But don't tell me that we lost the game because one girl brought picture. That mentality doesn't work in football. A coach told an entire team that what they need to start winning sex. Another coach told his entire team that what they need to win the tournament is to stay away from women. Guess what? The team that introduced sex, his team went to win the World Cup in 1994. Carlos Alberto Pereira. The one that says, oh, players must cut their hair, players must not stay with women. They got knocked out in group stage in 2002, Korea, Japan. So explain to me, how does that work in football? That a guy came to give player a frame is the reason why we lose a game. If they ask you to write a report on this game, that's what you will say. That's indiscipline. And meanwhile, you're not in Cameroon, you didn't even know how the camp is structured. It's not fair. And it's my platform. So that's what they said. And if he didn't say anything, it means it's true because he was there. It doesn't work like that. Mohamed Musa, without being subjective, do you think the Ghana has a chance? Yes, they do. Yes, they do. It is football. 11 is going to play against 11. There is rivalry between Nigeria and Ghana, meaning current form or anything don't count at all. What counts is who is ready on the day. The advantage that Nigeria now have is we're going to play the second leg in Nigeria, meaning whatever happens in Ghana, we already know. But that could also be a disadvantage because if Ghana goes and play a perfect game and score 4 goals, I'm not sure we'll have a team that would be able to score 5 goals in Nigeria. So if they have a chance, yes, they do. I'm a lover of the Super Eagles. I believe in the Super Eagles. I want the Super Eagles to go to the World Cup. But one of the worst teams to play against for Nigeria is Ghana. Because Ghana does not need to be informed to play against Nigeria. Ghana is Ghana. The rivalry is crazy, whether in music, whether in culture, whether in people, whether in economics, governance, jollof rice. The rivalry is mad. So this game does not need motivational, psychological talk. It just needs the players to show up and they will be ready, right? I've seen many Nigerian Ghana games. There is no, I can't sit here and tell you that Nigeria is better than Ghana or Ghana is better than Nigeria. No. So Ghana have as much chance to qualify for the World Cup as Nigeria do. That's also a good advantage for Nigeria. It means that we're not going to come to this game feeling like we're too much. Second advantage is, and that advantage will for both Ghana and Nigeria. It's not only for Nigeria. Ghana did not do well in the Nations Cup, so they cannot come also with an attitude. Nigeria didn't do well at the Nations Cup, even though they did well in the group stage, but then they got knocked out early. So they also will not come with chips on their shoulder and an attitude. So we go into that game, survival of the fittest. I'm not going to agree. We both die here. That's the way they go into that game. But if the question is, do Ghana have a chance? They have as much a chance as Nigeria do. It's a 50-50 chance. You may not have a coach right now, but we also really do not have a team. So it's 50-50. That's how I see it. I think Ghana have a chance, as much chance as Nigeria do. But I'm a Nigerian. This is why I'm biased. I want Nigeria to win. I want to see Nigeria in the World Cup. I don't want to go to Qatar knowing that Nigeria is not there. Okay? Sherry Chunu, Simon still went overboard, fueled by a level of understanding. She loves you. Sure, I do. I know that one. I agree. And I am glad you know. So, a lighter note, I think, say, na on mental. You be fool. Wow. So you stay worried. That's just it. And but I didn't stay in Ometa. I stayed in ERA, Edukugu. I stayed in SSA Road, Okwe Street, and then Odibo. I also stayed in Okomagwa Avenue, UC Street. But I mean, Odibo is close to Ometa, Sha. But my mom grew up in Ometa. Like when her parents died, she went to stay with her uncle who got her married to my dad. Ometa Mark. They faced a lot of kids in that area. I agree with you. Whenever the funny thing was that one is the one that they do here. My kid sister have that mark on her face, but it wasn't like tribal mark. It was because she was always having convulsion. Remember that thing they say that because they get convulsion, saying a spirit, they even want to take her, give her a mark for you. Then I put onions and crude oil. And then but it kind of like work anyway, because after that one, she never had convulsion again. And it's strange. I wouldn't do that with my children anyway. My children have never had convulsion. It's not going to happen. But that's just what happened in my house. Emmanuel Okota, I say, oh boy, I say no, I need a verse for you. And I respect your correction and stand corrected. No, I need a verse for you. We're having a conversation. At the beginning, I said, this is not going to be like the normal, diary section. This is us having a talk. But I like to correct impressions so that we don't leave it. The funny thing is, this is the World Wide Web. You say one thing, people rest on it. I should talk now. And the guy agree now. That's why no response. So I like to put it straight. Anger, no, I'm not angry. I mean, I'm blessed to have people give me attention. See what the time is. I'm blessed to have people give me attention. So people can say anything they want to say, but remember that if you hit somebody hard, the person will hit you hard. If you joke with me, I'll joke with you. See this, Shady just brought something that made me laugh now. So it's just what it is. It's a balance. But I don't know. Some people just feel like, okay, if you're a public figure, you are a media person, people out there can send it into you, but you don't have the right to say something. Like, oh, they are doing you a favor. Yes, you're doing me a favor, but the favor should not bring insult. Don't do me a favor and bring insult. That's one of the things that I will not accept. It's not a pride thing. Somebody showed up and said, I'm naive, I'm rude. No, I won't. You won't take it. You understand me? Because I remember when I was in Brilliant, there's this statement that people always use. Everybody is entitled to their opinion. I disagree with that. Everybody is not entitled to their opinion. People are entitled to their fact. If you don't have fact about a matter, keep quiet. Because that opinion mislead people. Let me give you one thing called opinion. If I came into radio, I used to hear this word. We would beat them like our wives. It was an opinion. Somebody had an opinion and it became a trend and it lasted. And I came into radio. I remember the first time I said, why are we using this word? It was just a meeting. I said, why are we allowing people to use this word on radio? And they say, it doesn't mean it's a slang. It's a figure of speech. I said, but the figure of speech now means that we beat our wives. Because when you say we beat them, we beat Sierra Leone, we beat Togo, we beat Benin Republic, Liberia, like our wives, we kind of like sell a message that we beat our wives. It took a whole long time. But then I went on there one day and I said, I don't want anybody calling on my show to say we'll beat anybody like our wives, because I wasn't married then. I won't beat my wife. I can't. So I don't want anybody to say that on my show. Other people laughed at me. But if you notice now, people don't use it again. So you got to stand against something that is not right. When I first said it, people were insulting me on radio. Who are you to come and correct us? Why do you always think that you know more than everybody? Other people that have been using it, other people that have been letting it, do you know how to broadcast? Are you a better broadcaster than them? And they will call you. I said it on this person's show. It didn't say anything. Who are you to correct me? No problem. But on my show, don't say we will beat anybody like our wives, because it is not good. Tomorrow, when women want to protest, they will not call you, they'll call me. When they start the Me Too movement, it's my name they will call. So I stopped it. It's the same thing. Getting angry for a team is all right. But using lies to buttress your point is not all right. We might not like it, But if you don't like people correcting you publicly, don't go and correct other people publicly. Maduka Okoye is one of us. He's our national team goalkeeper. From my experience as a football player, one of the things I always say is the best time you need your fans is when you're done. Does that stop us from analyzing the games? No. But when we analyze the game, let's not destroy the players and their confidence in that process. Since I started following football in the history of this country, this is the youngest team we've ever had. Like, these boys are freaking young. Ahmed Musa might be old, a few other person might be old, Kenneth Omeru here and there, but the bulk of this team is young. In other words, inexperience is playing a very big toll in this team. Bastardizing them, tearing them down, calling them names, saying all sorts would never make them grow. They will play with fear and trembling. And that's the kind of thing that will play into the hands of opposition with more experience, and they will beat us. Because the social media space is not a hidden space. As we're saying it here, the rest of the world are following. In some countries, there are people whose job is just to monitor what we say about our players online. By the time they get on that field, those people will repeat those sentences to them in close shot, where referees will not hear, you will not hear, and it will upset them, and the players will lose their balance. This is not an opinion, it's a fact. Coaches use it, other people use it. So we cannot say a goalkeeper that considered a shot that we can't even blame, like it's not an own goal, he didn't throw the ball into the net. We'll blame it, we want to kill the keeper. How would, since we are following football, how many young goalkeepers like this would ever get for the Super Eagles? In the history of the Super Eagles, let's just be very honest. Like, how many young goalkeepers like this have we had? We've not had much. So they will make their mistake, they will grow. When Odion first started, it was bag of shit. He went to 2019 Nations Cup, highest goal scorer. We didn't win it, but we loved him. But not forgetting that in 2018, we insulted him so much, he wanted to just redeem himself. In 2019, when he became highest goal scorer, he resigned. He retired. Not like he wanted to retire, but the pain of 2018 forced him to retire. Is that what do we have to continue doing that? I don't think so. Shady Chuno said, for the Eagles, this team is good enough. This team is good enough. We went into the tourney with haphazard preparation and even surpassed my expectation. Me too. We can only improve. I agree with you. Get to unsubscribe from this irrelevant channel. You need to be objective and stop insulting people. Okay? Yeah, your opinion that a picture frame made us lose is objective, but my telling you the fact is not objective. Bros, unsubscribe. I do not roll with blackmailers. As much as I like people and I want people around me, I don't want the bad people in my clique. It is very, very wrong. That's it. Okay? You can't even afford to live in Fifth Avenue, New York. Stop lying, man. Wow. Wow. But I know the place, right? I can't afford to live in Fifth Avenue. Now, God and angels, they live there. I just discovered the kind of person that you are. Okay. Emmanuel Okota, I say, Edafe, I love Nigeria dearly, and I still stand by our constitutional issues. Does the constitution have issues? Yes, it does, but it's not the biggest problem we have. Our legal system is garbage, and point of correction, you don't know me and you are making assumption about me. Now, so you make assumption about me that time. You see the way bad for you now. Sorry about that anyway. Our legal system is garbage. That one, I agree with you 100, in short, 1000%. Our legal system is terrible. Like, really, really terrible. I've had to pursue people's cases, try to get people out of prison. There was a time I was working with some guys like, okay, let's even go to prison, try to get people's case file, find out what is wrong, what this is, what that is. The legal system is bad. I agree with you. I can't argue. Is really, when you say bad is bad is being polite. Our legal system The word you use is good. Garbage is terrible. Like I've seen cases. I remember when I was working in Al Jazeera, and we had this. If you check for the videos, slave to football that we did, and we're pursuing these cases of fake agents that were using trials to entrap people, take money from them, and go dump them in different countries. And I remember we traveled to Belgium, France, to bring people back to their country, some from Ghana. We went to Turkey as well. And we got this guy on tape who was trying to scam some people who took him to the station. And we got a lawyer. And the lawyer said that and it cannot be prosecuted because the video was obtained in pretense. Man, I shed tears because kept him in the police station in Surulere, was really pursuing that, okay, they should charge him to court and let's see how it goes so that we'll set an example. The guy walked free. Well, not only that he walked free, he sent me a message. He said, I only spent 3 days in the cell. I will still do my business. There's nothing you can do. I felt bad. I felt bad because it was a justice system that didn't work. That is what made me go join Mission 89, an organization I set up by FIFA and the Interpol. Made me join Mission 89, and we started pushing the not in our game narrative. It's taking time to come together, but I'm very happy that last year, for instance, we're able to, bring back people who were, somebody was dumped in Miami, we brought him back to Ghana, one Isaac guy, and a few other people like that. We're able to work with them. And then just recently, we got a partnership with the British Olympic Committee. It's a British Olympic organization, and pushing legislation in the UK, also in Italy, France, and Germany. Right now, they've joined in the conversation. We're trying to push it to Spain and Holland as well to see how that works, so that they will be able to prosecute people who are found wanting. But then in Africa, nobody's joined the conversation. What is most sad is when we try to reach out to people like Drogba, these big stars, to be voice of the campaign, they all pull back. It's sad, but hey, it's one of those things. There's nothing you can do when people say they don't want to join your campaign. You can't kill them, you can't beat them, you just can't do anything. You just fold your and watch, and it's like, okay, you want to watch fellow African kids, go through this type of things. African parents borrow money to give to fake agents and then dump their children sometimes in Cape Verde, sometimes in Vietnam, in different places. And the funny thing is, some of these people will not agree to come back. Like when we went to France to go check on some of these kids, they're like, I don't want to go back because if going back to Africa is even worse than being on the streets here. It's tough, but I believe that if I spend for some years, especially those in France, I tell you, hey, then Drogba, then Kante, Ugolo Kante, and the rest of them are not playing in this country. Maybe my case will be like that. If it doesn't happen for me, it will happen for my children. What can you do? Didier Drogba's father played for Zaire. Lukaku's father played for Zaire. Lukaku played for Belgium. That kind of feeling. There's nothing you can do, but it's a fight. You will keep fighting, you keep pushing. Find a good thing. I was at the AFCON, so we were able to meet with the CAF people, and they've also agreed to join the campaign. And it was a good talk. Apart from going to do a film, we were able to also sit down and iron out a few things. But our justice system is terrible. There's no justice in this country at all. In Nigeria, I'm in Cameroon, right? But there's no justice in Nigeria at all. The justice system, I agree with you 100%. It is terrible. I don't know, but that's one of the part of the country that is really, really bad, because when you get involved in different cases, you start wondering but this case is not supposed to be like this. When they talk about the writ of habeas corpus, the process of arresting people, even, that the country you still have policemen take you to an ATM and take all your money, that's painful. That's sad. And the fact that you can't even pursue justice for people in very, very simple matter. Okay, let me give you a good example. By the time if a friend's younger brother worked with an Arab company and they beat him and broke his head, we wanted to pursue the case, and it was just a battle of who have more money. So the more money you're willing to spend, something is going to happen. But then you start saying that even if you spend this money, this guy, this Arab person, have an entire Arab community who have connections to the very high heavens, and there's nothing you can do. That's very sad. So, I mean, that's on that one. I can't even argue with you at all. Fortune H, you're still here. I thought you've unsubscribed. Oh. You insulted me for making comments about Okoye, though that I'm talking from my ass. Yeah, because you're talking from your ass. What you said is wrong. Guy, you've insulted me times without number. You're taking it personal. Listen, always learn to take what you give. This is how life is. And somebody asked me this question at the beginning, I said it. Don't give what you can't take. I believe in the principle of if you can give it. I grew up in Warri, and one of the principal thing we learn growing up in Warri is called wording. If you not sabi wording, no word people, because they go throw the one way was faster for you. I studied engineering. In science class, it says in the third law of motion, it says to every action there is an equal or opposite reaction, meaning that if you slap somebody, person can slap you back, that's equal. But if you slap somebody, somebody can stab you or shoot you. So don't give things that you cannot take. And then when you give it, it's because you're being objective. When they give you back, you not call somebody arrogance. No, it's not arrogance. You don't know what you're saying. What you said is wrong. Okoye might not be here, or somebody who knows Okoye might be here. Okoye and people who know he might not be here, but people who want to do business with him tomorrow might be here. What you've just done is destroy the image of someone who have a potential to grow to become one of the best in the world. Somebody you did not control to the growth, contribute to the growth of his career. And you make assumption like what you're saying is true. You say it authoritatively. You even involve the coach in it, about the discipline of the coach, which is wrong. I spent every single day in Cameroon in the camp of the Eagles. Even us who have a contract, pay the NFF $100,000, right? Raise that money within a couple of days and paid. Collected the contract. We could not have a sit down with the players. We just have to do an explanation because they have a regimented training program. And then you come here and you say what you're saying. But because you think, oh, I'm subscribing, I'm helping him. If I unsubscribe, he will die. That's blackmailing. That's cheap. I won't take it. If that's what you want to do. Unsubscribe. I don't have a problem with that. But it will stop me from shutting wrong assumption down on my platform. Because this is how it will be quoted. On Elevator TV live stream, this is what they said. And he didn't say anything. He was in Cameroon, so it must be true. You're lying. You can't lie. You can't sell a conversation on lies or assumption. Assumption, they say, I'm not the one, is the lowest level of knowledge. You can't assume. We lost the game because we played the game. Let me ask this question, and that's not just for you alone, Fortune, but for everybody. Going to this competition, be honest to yourself. Going to this competition, would you have put a bet that Nigeria will win the first 3 games? At that point, this picture you're talking about, I've been given to Okoye before the Tunisia game. Remember, would you have bet your money that we'll beat Egypt, who will beat Sudan, and will beat Guinea-Bissau? No. This is me answering for me. Even me, an incredible optimist and believer of the Super Eagles. No. We won all 3 games. The game we lost by a goal, single goal. One moment of brilliance from the Tunisians. We couldn't equalize. You are angry. I get it. But don't fester lies just because you are angry. I'm angry too. I'm losing money. That's big. Total stranger gave me $1 million. For somebody who said I can't stay in fifth, it's strange. If I could raise $1 million from strangers, somebody just coming from playing professional football cannot stay in fifth. Now God is still there. But let's leave that one because you just want to have a talk. You think I'm happy. I'm sitting here. Tomorrow I'm going to jump on a plane and go. The people that I bring from London are going back to London. Everybody's going. And I'm looking at the tournament and other people are still playing I wish we had gone to even the semifinals. I'll get this clip, I'll get this angle, I'll get this one, I'll get this one. We're playing only 2 games before September. I have a contract to deliver this film in September. You know how hard that is. I'm not a trained, I'm not a filmmaker. I woke up one morning, so I want to do this. January last year, and here we are facing all these challenges. Anybody who's supposed to be angry, I am. Am I pained? Yes, I am pained. Hey, but I'm not going to use that pain to not lie just to suit a narrative. No, the players were disciplined. The players were okay. We lost the game. It could just be that day wasn't our day. When Egypt lost, we Nigerians put out a lot of meme. As Salah is not good again, blah, blah, blah. Egypt is still in the competition. Salah is scoring. Scored a penalty that won the game against Ivory Coast. We're out. Football, that's how football is. Football happens. It doesn't always bounce well for you. Sometimes it bounces well for you, sometimes it doesn't. But what I would say and still insist on is, bros, verse for me, oh, I don't need that. It's not important to me. People getting happy with me is not a big deal. People getting angry with me. I've been facing that since 2004. So your anger is not going to change anything. Somebody told me on the day my mother died that my stupid analysis that made God to kill my mother. You think it's your small 25 kobo anger for YouTube will come in me, make me verse. In case you don't know, it takes time to make money from YouTube. It takes time. I've been doing this YouTube for like 4 years. I've not made up to $500 out of it. I never pay them out. So let me just tell you so you know. People, life is not like that. If you can give something, learn to take it. So if you can't take it, then don't give it. I don't owe you an apology for that. To think that you, if I honor your mate, who you be? If you're not going to respect to call you a small boy, if I honor your mate, because you're saying discipline, because I'm a black man. Sometimes when we say some things, we should think the impact of what we're saying. Then somebody says, if on your platform, either for the wrong coach and the team down, no. It doesn't work like that. What is wrong is wrong. If you're wrong, you're wrong. Oh, I made a mistake. It's a wrong comment. Move on. Emmanuel Okota, I said I've been in court system on property. Oh, I lost 2 plots of land in the Royal Garden because of that. I went to court. They told me straight in court that I should go and settle with the people. I settled with the family. I bought 11 years ago and being played left, right, and center. That would never happen to me here in America. I agree with you. Our legal system is garbage, period. Once again, I will not argue. But let's take it 1960, that would happen to you in America. You're true of us. Just be honest with me. 1960, 1970, even in the 80s, it will happen to you, whether you agree or not. Their system have refined a bit, but it does not. I will not agree that their constitution is the best constitution in the world. A country who doesn't even have constitution, that their system is way, way better. How many people did go jail for Norway? Now people they stay there now. How many jail? Their jail system. How many people they inside? Emmanuel Kota, I say I want Nigeria to be great. Yeah, we all want it to be great. Everybody. I pointing out what I deserve about our constitution and legal system is not a crime. No, it's not a crime. But the comparison with saying that I don't think our constitution is our problem, is the problem. First off, we have a very, very bad attitude problem. That's one thing we should fix. Our desire to always destroy. It's not a constitutional thing. No. So look at the US that you talk about. Look at Lakers. Look at how bad Lakers is playing right now. You don't see their fans tearing them down. They still support them. They still share them up. Look at Europe. Many teams play badly. They are terrible. Their teams still share them and support them up. Right? They lose together and they win together. Nigeria, we beat Egypt. Everybody was on the high. We beat Sudan. Everybody was on the high. We're already bidding for the Nations Cup. We lost our first, the only game we lost in the tournament, and everybody was in a high supporting the team and the coach and everything. Now start to tear against them. That's a problem. That's not a constitutional thing. That in itself is a problem. It's an attitude that we need to change. Some things are just not right. We don't need constitution to fix it. We just need to look back and say, but wait, am I not a fair weather person? It's only when they win that I praise them. Then when they lose, I'm against them. And you're supposed to be a fan. That's something that other countries would do, and then you would defend your country. Okay? But when we get to the point where I hardly talk about Nigeria because one of the questions I always ask myself is, Edafi, what have you contributed? What have you done to make it better? What will your grandchildren say you did? In the annals of the country, what would they say you did? You're just like every other person here. You complain and complain and complain. You make money off the system. Maybe you run abroad, or I won't go abroad anyway. But just it. So I made up my mind, like, one, I'll defend my country, the integrity of my country. But secondly, I would also play a part. I'm a politician. I'm not good at it. And I won't lie. But then there are things that I'm good at. I'm going to use that to make impact. I know football. I understand administration. The one that I cannot manage, I will call people. I have friends. I know people. Oh, guy, we can do this together. We can make this happen. We can change this. Nigeria is one of the few teams, one of 4 teams in this tournament that didn't go with a GPS kit to this tournament. Nigeria is the only team that didn't come with a video analyst. Nigeria, there is more. But obviously, people don't know that. And they don't care to know. Everything rises and falls on the players. We played Tunisia without proper knowledge of who is going to play, who are playing, how they will play. These are not things that I will blame. They are handicapped. It's like I have a good laptop, but there's no good internet. I will struggle to do anything on the World Wide Web. So some of the times, these are the problems that people face. We need to deal with those problems. One of the reasons why I choose to do this film is not just because I want to do it on them. I most likely will end up not making a single profit from it when I'm done with it. But I wanted to, the background of this is to show the back end of the Nigerian team. When people are able to see it and see who they can appreciate, see, there's going to be heroes and villains in this production. See who they can appreciate and also understand the workings of the science behind the madness. That's what I call it, but that's not the title of the production. But I just, every time we're having it up, that's what I tell them. It's the science. Let's show the science behind the madness. What the process is. I was having a conversation with somebody. I said, for Super Eagles to play one game, World Cup qualifiers or Nations Cup qualifiers, is 350 million naira. And the guy said, that, what are you saying? How can it be that? Where's the money? Where are they stealing the money? I said, well, that's the numbers. That's the fact. Right? The average Nigerian don't know that. If you not find that doubt, that number, how it is spent, how they get it, where the money comes from, where the money goes, you not understand the limitations of the NFF. You also understand the limitations of the coaches and a whole lot. When you hear that they're owing coaches salary or they're owing players bonuses, you will now understand why. As a Nigerian, I think that every Nigerian deserves to know. So it's the reason why I'm doing what I'm doing. Would it come out to be the best? I don't think so. But we will put our best effort into doing it. Going back to Nigeria tomorrow, first thing I need to do is to get a visa to France. What am I going to do in France? To go get the side. So I sit down in my hotel, I was thinking, how would we do this film without having a neutral on the story? It doesn't make sense. It's not in Nigerian, but we'll give him his place. I remember watching the Tottenham Hotspur video, did All or Nothing, and I saw Pochettino was complaining that he spent this number of years, they just gave him a small cameo in the video. So I felt, okay, we need to go there. I don't need to go. I could say, let's do it on Zoom. But sometimes human connection is different. Then it's expensive. I carry myself and a crew of 3 or 4 to France. Feed them, put them in a hotel, pay them for the job that they're going to do. Get visas for them, and then come back. Okay? It's hard. Nobody's done football movie in Nigeria before. So it's hard. There's no template for how to succeed with it. And all the people, the players you're going to meet, none of them play for club that do all or nothing or anything. So they don't even understand. But we're going to do it. Why? Because we want to tell the story. We want you to know who Dayo Enebi is, what Baba Femi Raji does, the kit manager, how he gets to put those numbers on the shirt. Some people till today still think that Nike is the one that put the numbers and the names on the jersey. Why Ola Ina's knicker is big and his shirt is small? These are some information that you need to know. It's not only journalists that have the right to know it. Nigerians need to know it so that that era where we love our national team, we cannot rise and sink with the team. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing. Will I make money from it? Yes, of course. I'm investing money into it. People's money. Why would I not make money from it? But that's just the point. So sometimes when we see it, I want to tear this team. Let's also understand their challenges. What are they facing? It will make us have empathy on our team and say, but it's not easy. See what these people they go through. See what they happen. See what they happen. A player told me for 2 years he was playing for the Super Eagles on painkillers and showed me his leg and all the whole injuries he was dealing with. He was playing for the national team. I said, guy, I don't know. He came to me and said, bro, you've been attacking me too much. Your crosses are poor. True or false? He said, yes, I'm working on it. And we got talking. And started talking about injuries, medicals, and all that. I said that with Samuel and he said, boss, I don't like to do this. Is that injury? The semi-finals of Europa. I'll be myself because when I came back, there's always that fear. Coach, why are you playing this guy? I want to give him his confidence back. Makes sense on both sides. I've been injured before. I can't even play Sunday All-Star game. I'm always afraid somebody will come and jam my leg out. I'll be on a wheelchair. So I understand all those beats. But the question is, does everybody understand it? No. What is wrong with Medical Okoye psychologically? Could there be a problem? Could there be something going on in his head, in his mind? I don't know. I didn't speak with him. I just was observing him from far. Because I need somebody who's close to him to get to him before I get to him. But all of these things does not warrant him getting bashed the way people are bashing him. I still insist on that. So when you bash him the way you do, I don't know him. I've not had contact. I've not spoken to him once. But he's a Nigerian national team goalkeeper. He deserves some protection. He deserves it. Don't forget, I'm a strong critic of all our footballers, present, even the future. But I'm going to find criticism based on fact, not based on assumptive opinions. It's wrong. You won't like people to assume in your work and jump into a conclusion. You feel bad. But if they say something based on fact of what happened on the job, you won't feel bad. That's my opinion. You might not like it. You might not, because I say I am not a Laker fan. I am a proud, oh Jesus, them Clippers. Since 1998, I am not ashamed to say so. You see, Clippers are not winning anything, but you are. This is what a fan does. This is how to be a fan. You shouldn't be ashamed of your team. People are fans of Debbie Cantina. Abi? Akinola, it says sometimes we forget no one goes into a game with the intention to lose. God will bless you, bros. Me and you want the same thing for Nigeria. I speak highly about my country. I know, but I see something I can copy from other places to make it better. I agree too. Based on my lived-in experience, it doesn't mean I hate it. No, I don't think you hate Nigeria. Okay, finally, Michael. Hey, my guy, how far? Your Jesse. What's that your Jesse said? They my bag. Looking forward to all those behind the scenes information. Most insight I get now is from the players' Snapchat. Don't worry, you get a lot. You get this production. I'm trying to make sure it's up to 10 episodes, so it will cover everything. But then them getting knocked out early from the AFCON really hurt us, because the plan that brought us to Cameroon was to get 10,000 hours of video footage, 10,000 hours, so that we know that the Cameroon game will just be, the Ghana game, sorry, will just be, get a clip in Ghana, get a clip home, and then we just small, just peripheral. Then we celebrate our qualification. This is not underestimating Ghana, but I'm hoping they'll qualify. But unfortunately, that didn't happen. For the very first time, I've done 3 hours of a live stream. First time ever. No, I did one event that was 4 hours, right? Yes, at Agege. Okay, but that was not me talking. That was just an event. So I think it will be fine, but I have my fears. Let me tell you what my fears are. I'm not done film. I'm not a film person. So I either might do it out of excitement, but I have professional people around me anyway. Professional people working. Production will be done in the UK. I hope I will do the very best out of it. And I don't know. I always ask myself every day, how would the story go? The sound, the instrumentals that we need to get, the music. Guys, people they do movie, they try you. People they do movie, they try. Let's go get music, go and pay for people to give you the rights to use their music, and pay buy footage for football matches, qualifiers that are passed, travel here and there, trying to commission people in Europe, go and interview this guy here, we want to go and interview audio in Saudi Arabia. I don't even know anybody in Saudi Arabia that does video production quality. Go to Napoli, go to this one, go to France, go to England. Jesus Christ. It's not easy. It's not like normal film where everybody goes to one place, read your script, cut. This is real life, recorded, and then put into film. It's hard. But guys, it's 2 hours, 56 minutes. And it's 2:56 here. We started by 12. It's time for me to go and sleep. I need to catch some sleep. Thank God we're not recording anything tomorrow, so I'll sleep till like 10. Wake up, have a morning meeting, post production, meeting to put closer to our Egypt trip. And then everybody start carrying their bags. The ones that are going to London will go to London. The ones that are going to UK, Nigeria will go to Nigeria. And then the one that is going to US would fly in the night, 11 o'clock in the night, and go to the US. We all go back to Nigeria, but we'll see how it goes. I come back, the process begins again. Thank you very much, everybody. Those that are offended, I'm sorry about that one. If you're angry, but I'm not sorry for you, Fortune. If you like, you verse, you like, you unsubscribe, you like, you find your face like okay with lick line, and your headache. Every other person, I hope we're good. Sleep time. Good night, my people. Unado. Damn, that's a long one. I'm learning now that I can do stream for this long. That's good. Boom.